What's up, everybody? It's your boy Adam. We're live. It is Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. It's time for the party, and no one's here. But I get it. I'm never first to the party either. I who wants to be the first one to walk in the door to a party and mingle with nobody, right? So I don't know what I'm going to talk about. We got a thumbs up already. So somebody's here. Somebody stopped by to drop the thumbs up. That's always nice. Um well, we got one visitor in the house. I don't even believe the numbers that they show me in the top corner of my screen when I log in, when I connect to this thing. So whoever's out there, what up? Let's get the party started. I'm just going to talk about random things until we get a little bit of people showing up, and then you know, we'll dig deep. We'll dig deep. I decided to go with the topic this week that we discussed a couple of weeks ago because after 3 hours of the live stream, I looked at my notes and I'm like, geez, I'm not even halfway done talking about this. And that is telling the vice president of human resources to see you next Tuesday. If you know what that means, then you know. And if you don't, well, you don't. And maybe you'll find out tonight when we dig into that topic. But for now, I mean, I just, bunch of random stuff. What's going on? I've been posting the videos about my 35-day rise and grind challenge, which really isn't a challenge. I'm not like Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, or any of these hustle culture douchebags who basically tell you that if you're not working 32 hours a day and working on Saturday and spending, if you go and spend time with your kids and your family, you're a piece of shit. If you don't own a Lamborghini by the time you're 22, you need to reevaluate your life and all that. I'm not that guy. Like that. If you're seeing the title of those videos and you think that's what you're gonna get, you're not. It's just gonna put it out there. I'm just playing a little experiment to try and push myself a little harder than I've been pushing myself lately and see what I can shake loose in 5 weeks. It was something I saw in a video that just kind of was like a little voice in my ear saying, hey, why don't you just work a little harder and maybe document this and, see what you can shake loose. See what you can learn. And so that's what I'm doing. My biggest problem is I'm not a morning person. I don't get out of bed early. That's one thing I'm learning. I'm probably never going to be that guy. I'm a night guy. I'm a night owl. I stay up late. I pretty much didn't get out of bed until I don't even know when I got out of bed yesterday. It'll be in the video I post later on tonight because I still haven't gotten around to putting all the metadata in the video so that I can turn it on and make it live for the members. You guys will get to watch it for a day or two, and then I'll let the peasants show up and watch it. And you get to, if you're one of the peasants, you're not a channel member, you're just a lowly peasant. Well, you get to watch it with the ads. Only channel members get the privilege of seeing it ad free for a couple of days. But everything's just kind of like, I don't know, unpredictable. I can't follow a schedule. I can't just, I'm not a routines guy. Yesterday, I got a really late start. Yesterday was Tuesday. Okay, yeah. Yesterday, I took a 3-hour nap yesterday after my client meeting in the morning because I was so exhausted from the previous day working at the bakery, slaving away all day. It wore me out. And yesterday, I crashed. But on the flip side, I ended up working on a client's website until 10, 11 o'clock at night. Then I put a roast in my slow cooker, seared it, did all the food prep, peeled garlic, cut up, peeled and sliced up carrots, potatoes, a bunch of other stuff, threw it all in there with my roast, put the lid on, turned that thing on, let that thing simmer for 11 hours. Woke up to a wonderful smelling house this morning. And then I put it on warm, let it sit, had that for lunch. Barely, barely touched it. And I've been feeling full all day. So good food, good clean whole food, man. You don't have to eat much and your body will feel full. And so maybe tonight after I get off of this and I'll probably, try to do some dishes or something. I don't even know. Um, I might even dig in and write some more code for this website that I'm working on. It's just tedious. I'm doing a lot of tedious stuff. Write a few lines of code, take a screenshot, measure it against the prototype, the design, the blueprint, if you will. Write a couple more lines of code, take a screenshot, compare it to what it's supposed to look like. Move this 5 pixels, take another screenshot, check it out, and just measure as I go down this page. There's another page and a half. And then I've got to go and write a bunch more code so that it looks good on a phone, mobile device. I've got a few people that messaged me today. I'll get back to you for sure. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Somebody dropped $5 in the chicken bucket at donate.litgood.com. So booyah, that's great. That'll cover, that's like coffee money right there, baby. So that's fun to watch. And what else? And I'm just trying to do my thing. I did look, I don't know if Blue Sky's in the house right now. Nobody's in the chat. Nobody's lighting up the chat room, which is fine. I am going to oh yeah, I did everything in the wrong order, of course, but we talked about Jesus Calling is the book that we read a lot, and I don't read it every day. But to be, I had some time. I stopped working at 5:30 to get ready to do the live stream, rebooted my computer. So hopefully we're not going to have any glitches like we had last week. I think I figured out why it was glitching out last week. And I also think it was just like that Mercury retrograde thing, because I'm not seeing the problems today that I saw last week, at least not yet. And I didn't do a whole lot of troubleshooting, but I think sometimes it's just things happen. So I queued this up just to see what was in there, because it always makes good content for the live stream. And this is what it had to say today. And April 15th, trust me and don't be afraid. Many things feel out of control. Your routines are not running smoothly. You tend to feel more secure when your life is predictable. Let me lead you to the rock that is higher than you in your circumstances. Take refuge in the shelter of my wings, where you are absolutely secure. When you are shaken out of your comfortable routines, grip my hand tightly and look for growth opportunities. Instead of bemoaning the loss of your comfort, accept the challenge of something new. I lead you on from glory to glory, making you fit for my kingdom. Say yes to the ways I work in your life. Trust me and don't be afraid. And, as always, this book, it just always pretty much lines up with whatever I'm feeling. Whenever I read it, I don't read it every day, like I said, but when I do, I just go to whatever day it is and read what it has to say for today. And many things feel out of control. That's for sure. My routines are not running smoothly. They're not. That's probably the number one thing that's been on my mind this week and today, that my routines are not running smoothly. I can't even get into a routine, let alone have routines that run smoothly. You tend to feel more secure when your life is predictable. I would have to say yes to that. But I can also say on the flip side that life is boring when life is predictable. But right now, with all the trauma that I went through and everything that I'm still going through, I definitely don't like to get rocked by unexpected issues and problems and chaos. But I know that that's a pipe dream to think that you're gonna go without dealing with those kinds of things. I think it's just, it goes, you're living in a pipe dream if you think you're going to be able to go a long time without dealing with some sort of nonsense, especially in the world that we live in right now that's completely falling apart and getting crazier by the day. Grocery shopping, my God, I went grocery shop. What day did I go grocery shopping? I guess it was Monday. It was ridiculous. Like, it was just absolutely ridiculous. My mind is always blown whenever I go to the grocery store now. Just like, you can't even, like, I don't know how anybody survives. I don't know how anybody's surviving in our country right now. Like, it's just, and like, some people are just rich. We'll get in tonight, but you're shaken out of your comfortable routines. Grip my hand tightly and look for growth opportunities instead of bemoaning the loss of your comfort. Accept the challenge of something new. But the thing it really says, like, trust me and don't be afraid. And take refuge in the shelter of my wings where you are absolutely secure. And that just always brings me right back to this verse right here, which is when I was in prison and I decided to, when I started hanging out with people that just memorize Bible verses and can just rattle them off like nothing. I was like, I had nothing else going on, so why not try to memorize some Bible verses? And so I just had a number of verses that spoke to me, and this one is one of them. For a lot of different reasons, this would always pop up. And it goes like this: Matthew 6, verse 26. Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And so this is one of the ones that would always pop up whenever I was nervous about something or whenever I'm feeling like, how am I gonna, the groceries are so expensive. How am I going to eat? All that stuff. We're all going through it. And yet I can sit back and say, God feeds the birds and they don't have to go to the grocery store and push a cart around and pay $300 to fill a little plastic basket when you used to be able to fill a freaking shopping cart for $100. The big shopping cart that you push, for a family used to be able to feed yourselves. Now you can't even, watch it every time you turn around, every time you go on X, every time you get on, you see anything to do with the news. I don't watch the news at all. I'm informed, but I can't even tell you the last time I gave a shit about watching any news at all. Like the mainstream news, Alex Jones, the tinfoil hat news. I don't give a fuck about any of it. The only news that I watch anymore comes from memes, straight up. Anything I know about what's going on these days, just something I saw in a meme or maybe a YouTube video because someone was talking about something, but I don't gravitate towards the YouTube videos where people are talking about the news. I talk about it, but I don't necessarily, I hear things, I see things, I queue up a bunch of videos in a playlist, and then I start writing code or getting into my work for the day, and I hear things throughout the day. So I guess I do get a little bit more news than what I see in them, but I can generally tell what the fuck's going on any given day by, oh, here are the memes. Oh yeah, Donald Trump fucked this up, and he's a loose hinge jackass. He's about to blow up the whole fucking world. Great. Oh, like this, that, the other thing, whatever anymore. I just don't care anymore. I've been watching this shit show burn to the ground since I was, since TWA Flight 800 crashed in, I think it was July of 1996. I knew someone that died on that plane. I started to wake up to what's going on, pay attention to the world. And now I see where it's going, and I don't give a fuck about it anymore. I don't care if you wake up. I don't care if you stay asleep. I don't care if you live with your head in the sand. You don't want to know what's going. I don't care. I do not care. I see it. Bible says what's going to happen. It's happening. Fine. Let me know when it's over. I don't care anymore. I'm not doing anything to try and stop it. I don't care. I've just spent 2 years in federal prison for a mean tweet, and your attitude be just as shitty as mine. Especially when you look at the fact that the people in charge are child molesters. They're satanic billionaire child molesters running everything right now. They found out that when these billionaires found out that they could get away with raping children and none of us are going to do anything to them about it, what won't they get away with now? Now they know. They know we can do whatever the fuck we want from now on. We've been raping kids for decades, and these peasants won't do anything to us. We can do anything we want. They're not going to stop us. And, you're not. It is what it is. So, trust me and don't be afraid. That's what God said today. Many things feel out of control and your routines are not running smoothly. Like, I'm just doing what I can at this point. I got some people to get in touch with. I got some things going on. Somehow I made it another day and there's some more days ahead. And we're just going to go with that. I just don't care about much else anymore. I definitely feel like things are out of control, but it's not always even in a bad way. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes things are out of control, but the good things are happening too. It's like I got this feeling like I'm holding on to the bar of the roller coaster and I don't know where it's going. I've never been on this ride before, and it doesn't mean the ride can't be fun, but sometimes I feel like I'm going to get sick and barf over the side of the car from time to time. I take my Dramamine, I guess, and it's one of those old clackety wooden roller coasters that shake your soul out of your body and make you feel like you're going to crash and die with a bunch of splinters in your face. It's not one of these smooth as silk steel contraptions where you're all strapped in nice and safe with the shoulder harness and the waist thing. And no, it's like a rusty chain going across your lap on a rickety old wooden roller coaster like you'd see on Scooby-Doo or some shit at a haunted amusement park, and you're just holding on to the fucking bar and hoping you don't die. Don't be afraid. That's what God said. Other than that, I don't really know. I mean, we could just jump into the topic of the day. Oh, okay. What the one of the things, if I do move, I got a couple of things I could talk about before the big topic. So I'm thinking about moving, but I'm not. My lease is almost up. My lease will be up at the end of May. So I'm casually I haven't gone to look at any place in person, but I bookmark things. Whatever I find that looks interesting, that looks like I'm probably going to have to pay more money if I want to move into a nicer place, obviously. I don't think, I think I've got a pretty good deal here, but maybe if I could spend a couple $100 a month more and get a lot more for the money to where, I could do laundry like a normal person, like I could do, just different things. I saw a place listed that had a nice yard today. There's just lots of possibilities, and I'm just going to be open-minded. And usually the way these things kind of work is that the right thing will just fall into my lap when it's time. But I have to put forth some effort and look. It's not just going to magically appear out of the sky without me doing anything. At least that's usually not how it works. Maybe it will magically fall out of the sky. I mean, things happen, but typically I have to take a couple of steps in a direction. And if it's the direction I'm supposed to go, God will come and get me. And like say I'm walking down the highway, I'm with my thumb out to the side, God will pull up and give me a ride to the next town. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at places, but I'm not really getting into. Made a couple of little random, like there's one down the road. There's like a new, let's call it a trailer park because that's what it is, but it's like double wide, single wide. Like they're nice, modern mobile homes, and they've got them on they've got them listed on Facebook. But it's this one spot. I just watched them level this area out and put all these homes up, and now they're on Facebook Marketplace. I could walk there from where I live. So I thought about maybe going to look at those. But I don't know. Like it's like they're I don't know. I think the biggest thing about that particular spot is it's on a busy road with a lot of traffic. I already know what it's like living next to a busy road with traffic zipping by all day long and all night long. Cop car sirens, it'll be nonstop. And I don't think I don't even think I'm going to go look at the place just for that reason, because I already know I don't want to live someplace where it's nonstop, where like you hear traffic zipping by 24 hours a day, nonstop sirens. Yeah, I'd be doing a YouTube video and you'd be hearing like cop cars and fire trucks and ambulances in a 3-hour span. You'd probably hear it 8 times. So I don't even want to do that. But sometimes I talk about this stuff in a video, or I talk about other things like my career, my freelance business and some other things, hustles that I'm working on. And I get these comments, and I don't even think, like, I'm not even going to accuse people of being a jerk or doing it to be like mean, but I talked about it in a video that I'm going to post later, but I'll talk about it now. Something reminded me of it. And that was, people will, how do I want to put this? Okay, when I talk about moving, I'll get all these comments about, why do you want to move? It looks like you found a good deal on a place. Why can't you just settle for what you have and blah, blah, blah. Like, why would I want to stay in a place that's, number one, if I want to have my son come and visit me, there's no room. There's no room. I got the room that I'm sitting in right now. I'll take you on a tour when I get done, with the wave of updates I'm making. Probably be within the next couple of weeks. I just don't know when. It's a 10-foot wide by 20-foot long room with another 10-foot by 14-foot long room and a 10-foot wide by 6-foot bathroom. Room, and that's it. My office is literally a folding desk that like when I bought this desk, it was a folding desk that I carried in a bag, and I would take it places when I work remotely and I need to go set up at someone's, some random person's house or whatever. I could bring an office in a bag, so to speak, with a little chair and a desk and all the stuff I need to pop up a laptop and basically sit and work. As long as I got a little space. But that's what it is. That's my office now. I want to have some room. I would like to not have a workbench in the middle of my kitchen where I work on my bicycles at the same place I cook my food in. And just, the point is, why would you not want to upgrade your life, no matter who you are? And, a lot of the people telling me things like that are all like, they live pretty larger than I'll probably ever live. And I'm getting the, and then there's another thing, like somebody left a comment. Like I said, I don't think the person was being mean or anything. I'm not going to call out names or whatever, but I get this comment a lot by different people. So I'm not just going to call it out on one person, but why don't you take more shifts at the bakery? I thought you got a car and you should be working at that bakery a lot more. And I'm like, Why the fuck would I go and bust my ass working at a $10 an hour going nowhere job? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Like, I like the people I work with. I don't dislike being there per se, but why would I not want to do something better than that? And I'm working like 30 plus hours a week on freelance work, making more money, not making what I should be making, but I'm making way more money than the bakery to sit at my computer 30 hours a week here and make more money than I make working at the bakery. So why would I go work 40 hours at the bakery for shit money when I could make 3 times more sitting at this desk doing what I actually do? But I've been dealing with that kind of mentality since I was like 15 years old. So that's why it like grinds when I see people say stuff like that. It's that peasant class blue collar mentality that I talk about all the time. And I'm not saying blue collar to insult people who work with their hands. You know, it's not an insult to anybody who cooks or works on cars or an electrician or a plumber or anything. You can make damn good money doing any of that blue collar shit. You could be a millionaire doing any of that stuff. I know truckers, truck drivers who own their own fleet of trucks and they run their own shit. And believe me, if they can run out and buy a brand new Kenworth and it ain't that big a thing, they got money in the bank, right? But if you're at the bottom of the barrel, if you're showing up to the fucking coal mine and punching a time clock and taking an elevator down to the bottom of the coal mine to get your black lung for your dose of black lung for the day so that you can not have health insurance and go home and cough up a bunch of black shit out your lungs and eat your TV dinner and drink a fucking Miller Lite and go back to the fucking coal mine tomorrow and that's your only ambition in life, well then don't fucking tell me about it because I got better shit to do. So that's all I'm getting at. Like, there are a lot of people who just, not only do they think that, like, they have what's called a limiting belief that they think that's the best I can do. So, and then they want everybody else to fall in line with what they do and what they believe. And so it's like that. You know, I went to art school and I was surrounded by artists, and I know artists of all walks of life and all kinds of art. And this is a common story. People will constantly tell you, why are you chasing after that? Or they think that all we do is fucking coloring books all day or play with crayons. And, you know, we don't do anything useful. And it's like, bitch, I make 5 times more than you do. Coloring books all day. I must have known something. And it just, but then, you know, I know a lot. I went to art school in Pittsburgh. There were a lot of people from West Virginia. You know how many of these kids were told by their family, why don't you just get a real job working in the coal mine like everybody else does? You know, that they'll take care of you. They ain't gonna fucking take. We've talked about this. This is the subject of today's video. The company is not going to take care of you. When you're too old and you got your fucking black lung from working in the coal mine for 30 years, they're kicking you to the fucking curb and you're going to wind up homeless because you got nothing for that 30 years that you put in. You're going to lose your trailer home. You're going to be down at the local fucking dive bar drinking 50-cent Yinglings until you pass out on the fucking sidewalk. And then you died. And are you going to feel like you lived a good life making the fucking owner of the coal mine rich while you got your black lung? No. So I'm just saying, like, when people talk to me like that, like, why don't you just settle for the lowest of the low? Like, or some people just have this attitude like that's all I deserve because I'm just nothing but a piece of shit convicted felon now. And I don't deserve to have a life. I don't deserve to put a life back together. I don't deserve to ever have a good job or anything like that. And it's like, yeah, I see the numbers going down. We were up to like 15 people watching the video, and now we're down to 3. But fuck them. I'm sick and tired of this shit. But like I said, you know, I see these comments, and I don't always think that the person who puts them in there is being mean. But do you know how many times I was told when I was like 18, 15, 16, 17 years old by people in the blue collar mentality that I was surrounded by. Why don't you just go get a job at Wegmans? They'll take care of you. Why don't you go get a job doing this or that? Just like, why go to art school, you fucking losers? You're never going to be able to amount to anything from that. It's like, bitch, I was making 150 grand a year when the fucking tank showed up at my house and the FBI drove the Bearcat through my front door. I think I made a couple of good decisions along the way. You still making $10 an hour at fucking Wegmans? How are they taking care of you? And so it just kind of, it gets under my fucking skin sometimes when people want to shit on you when you chase after your dreams. And I'm not alone. I'm honestly like, I don't want to name names, but I had this same conversation with somebody this week who's dealing with the same thing from somebody very close to that person and other people. And it's crazy. Running with Scissors says, my first degree running with scissors. Are you trying to undermine Adam? She's right. Whoever running with scissors is that Blue Sky? Is that like your alias? I don't know. I thought you said you were here when I said something. I don't know who's who anymore. Got your first degree in graphics from the Pittsburgh area. Isn't the school you went to the one that got shut down? Yeah, it was some kind of fraud. Yeah, it was some kind of fraud. That was a while ago. I went there in 1994, from 1994 to 1996. During that time, the Art Institute of Pittsburgh got bought out by a large corporation, and there was a network of art institutes all over the United States. In fact, there is still one in downtown Houston right now. I've seen it. It's got the same logo and everything. But the Art Institute of Pittsburgh was the original one. When this corporation bought the school out, legally, they couldn't do it. So I was already in, and I was already in the program. So legally, when they bought the school, they couldn't change anything about what me and my friends signed up for. We got the same education. We actually got the benefit of all the money coming in because the school spent millions of dollars on all new computers. And I was working as a computer lab tech. And so I had access to everything. Like I always knew how to play the game and get more for my money. If you want to, like, I knew how to weasel my way into the right situations to get the most bang for the buck, if you will. So I had access to all this advanced shit, computer, Silicon graphics workstations that George Lucas was using for Industrial Light and Magic to make movies with. I learned how to do 3D animation on that shit, which was, these were like $30,000 to $50,000 computers back in the day. I could play with them. I could play with these things anytime I wanted. All kinds of crazy shit. But the school got this big influx of money. Then they changed the location of the school to this ultra modern building, et cetera, et cetera. We were in this dumpy old building with freight elevators, but it was like an art school. It felt like you were in an art school. It was a 2-year degree. It was in and out. I could get on with my career. I know people going to 4-year colleges right now to get a degree in nursing or some other thing. I work with a bunch of college kids. Like they go to school for 4 to 6 years before they even get to take a fucking class that relates in any way, shape, or form to the career they want to have a career in. I went to art school from day one for 2 straight years. All I did was learn how to hustle in my own career. Like, I don't understand why you would go to school for 6+ years and like for the last 6 months of it, you finally get to learn some shit that relates to the career you wanted when you signed up 6 years ago. But that's how these fucking bullshit colleges are. And that's why the college degrees are so expensive. It's why the whole thing is corrupt and out of control. It's not like that in Europe. In Europe, you want to be a doctor, you go to doctor school and they teach you how to be a fucking doctor pretty quick. Here, you got to go You basically you go get a bachelor's degree, which is basically all the same shit you just did in high school, but you do it again and you pay 100 grand for that. And then you get to go to what's called grad school. And then you get to learn how to do whatever the fuck it was that you signed up to go to school for. Well, I skipped all that. 2 years in, boom, career. But what happened with the Art Institute is this corporation bought them out, and they decided to turn it into a 4-year degree program. And the government came down and they basically they got rid of all the teachers at the Art Institute that were actually good. So like the people that taught me couldn't even work there anymore. And they hired a bunch of fucking dumbass kids just out of college with teaching degrees that had no experience at all in the design business, teaching now. Where my teacher used to work with Saul Bass. My other teacher was a renowned, the two teachers, there's 3 instructors there that I can remember their names to this day. I'm not going to name them, but I know their names to this day. And I learned more from those 3 people, plus my vocational teacher in high school, than anybody else probably in my entire career before or since. They taught me everything I needed to know. But it was an art school. It was a focused program. Then they tried turning it into like a traditional college kind of a thing where you go and get your bachelor's degree and all of a sudden you're not taking art classes anymore. You're going to this 4-year art school bullshit and you don't even do any fucking art anymore. You're taking math classes and English classes and all this. And then it was really expensive and there was a whole bunch of fraud. And they had to close the school and the whole thing went under and it was a big corrupt thing. And the people in charge, I don't know if there was jail time, but it was a big shit show. The whole thing collapsed. But I was gone. I was out of that shit way before the collapse. And I was graduated and gone from that place before they even moved into the new building, before they changed the curriculum. So basically, like, the 2 years I was there were probably the best possible 2 years to be there because it was still the traditional art school when I was there. But a whole, like, millions and millions of corporate dollars came flooding into that place to buy a bunch of goodies and computers and all kinds of stuff to play with. And I got to be the beneficiary of all that millions and millions of dollars that came in. And I got to learn a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have been able to learn otherwise. And then I left, and then the place went downhill and crashed and burned. And I know people that signed up to go there like a year, like not even a year after I left. It was a completely different school. Because these people that, I knew people. I had a lot of friends in Pittsburgh, and all the new art students, a lot of them just dropped out because it wasn't what they signed up for. And they said it was, they all said it felt like a scam, and because it was a scam. And so like this company, basically it's kind of like what do you call it? What do we call it? What is not venture capital? What's that word, that term that we're using now when the corporates come in and buy, like Joanne Fabrics and all of these, like when the money company comes in and then guts the company and turns it into a big shit show and walks away and like runs the company into the ground and basically walks away, jumps out of the plane in their golden parachute and floats to the ground with a bunch of money and runs away while the company they bought crashes and burns. Oh, fuck. I can't remember what the term is for that. You know what I'm talking about, though. Somebody leave it. Private equity. Right. It's the exact same thing. It was one of the first examples of these private equities coming in and just steamrolling over something that was good, completely fucking destroying it from top to bottom and running away with a bunch of money while they left a burning pile of cesspool in its wake. It's kind of like the guy who bought Sears, Eddie Lampert. This fucking rich asshole bought Sears, Kmart, And like he bought it specifically to dismantle it, run it into the ground, sell off all the assets, and walk away with a pile of money while he left a sea of destruction in his wake. That's exactly what the guy did. That's why Craftsman is owned by Lowe's now. I think Lowe's, yeah, Lowe's is, you can't buy Craftsman shit at Home Depot. You got to go to Lowe's because he sold the Craftsman brand, which really all it was a brand at that point, a fucking logo and some design work. Sells it to Lowe's. So now Lowe's can make Craftsman bullshit, put the Craftsman logo on it because they own it. They own the brand. Because a lot of these brands, that's literally all that's left is the brand name and the fucking logo and some graphic design files, because there's no actual anything with it anymore. It's just a ruined pile of shit with a logo that people remember the name of. So there's value in that. And so he sold the Craftsman brand. He sold the Kenmore, all the Sears brands. There's an automotive crap that Sears had. Like there's all these different there's all these different what is that? What am I hearing? Somebody with a big big speaker in the back of their trunk, and a rattling trunk just went flying by, so caught my attention. Wait, all right, dude. All right. I'm reading through the chat. All right, Glenn, don't start fights, man. Like, I don't know what's, just nobody's got to be a dick. We're all just here to have a good time. And, so anyway, I'm going to try and focus on just, here we go. What was I saying? Yeah, Eddie Lampert. He bought Sears to tear it apart, sell all the assets off, walk away with more money than he paid for it, and shut the whole thing down, call it bankruptcy, send all the people, send all the employees home with nothing. So, but there were a lot of Sears brands, and they're all owned by other companies now. But that's all they bought was the brand name, so that they could sell a recognizable, because lemmings and sheep in America are attracted to brand names that used to, maybe it was a brand that used to be prominent or trustworthy at some point in history back when it was a good company. But now there's nothing left but the logo and the name of the brand. And some other company will buy that just because they know we're going to sell a bunch of wrenches, a bunch of crappy ass wrenches made in China. But if we put that Craftsman logo on it, people are going to buy it because they're fucking stupid. And they're like, oh, Craftsman, that's good shit. Oh, my grandfather used to have Craftsman wrenches. Like, they can't, they just see the fucking word Craftsman. They think it's good. Oh, my grandfather used to use those. That's good stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. Some of that stuff's got a lifetime guarantee. You can take it. I've broken Husky wrenches. That's a crappy brand for Home Depot. And, it's not Snap-on, but it also doesn't cost $6,000 for a box wrench either. And if I break it, I can go back to Home Depot and be like, here, I got a broken wrench. Go back, grab another one off the shelf, go home. I've done it. It's good enough for what I use it for. I've got some Craftsman tools in the back of my car, a nice socket set, and I actually hunted it down. I went to Lowe's and I'm like, man, these look like shit compared to the one I used to have that I bought back in 2019, 2018. So I found the part number for the one that I used to own, and I searched the internet and I found searched the internet and I found the exact socket wrench set that I used to own, which the quality was a little bit better than what they're selling now. But I know that if I end up breaking one, I can at least go and get a replacement and not have to pay for it. But I don't need snap-on tools to work on my car a couple times a year. If I was a mechanic, probably I might go for the best. Because if you're using that stuff every day, it's like I don't want to do my job without a MacBook Pro in front of me. So I want the best for what my profession, my livelihood, I need to rely on the equipment. So I know when to, you know, but for something that you do as a hobby, you could probably get away with a MacBook Air or a Windows Surface tablet or a PC, a home built PC that you saved money on, and and all that. So anyway, I think it's time to transition to the topic of today's show, which is telling the VP of HR to um, see you next Tuesday. Think you remember this chick from the last time we talked about this subject. And, um, all I got to say is that, the last time I had a job, an actual job, one day I saw the owner of the company driving around in a brand new Porsche 911. And I saw him and I gave him a compliment about it. And he said to me, "Thanks. You know what? If you work really hard this year, I'll be able to afford to buy another one of these next year." And so, that's a joke. Haha. But it does remind me of the time. Now, I'm about to tell you a true story. I was in a meeting at this company. Now, let me just tell you the short version of the company. I worked for this company as a contractor through a staffing agency for about a year and a half, making like 36,000 a year. This was back in like 1996, 1997, 1998. I was just getting my foothold in a career. But I was making like 36 grand working for this company at a staffing agency. After a year and a half, they offered me a full-time job, but they offered me 27,000 a year to work for them full-time. And I'm like, wait, I've been working here a year and a half, and you want to offer me 9,000 a year less to go to convert to a full-time employee? And they were trying to like tell me, oh, but it's more job stability and all this and that and the other thing. And I was like, no. And I said no to that. I'm not going to take a $9,000 a year pay cut to keep my job that I've worked at for a year and a half. That's what you're going to that's my reward for a year and a half of hard work and busting my ass. And I earned a place in the company. So you're going to cut my pay by 9 grand a year as a reward for working for you. Now, when you work for a staffing agency, a headhunter or something like that, the company is paying the staffing agency at least double what you make, sometimes more. I know plenty of recruiters. I know staffing agents. I know the inside of that business a little bit. I know, I talk to real people and get real shit to come out of their mouths. So I know how the whole thing works. I always worked with recruiters that did me solid. They would, I had about 2 or 3 recruiters throughout my career that I would work with on a regular basis when they had jobs, because they would be able to negotiate better pay than I would be able to get myself. And they had my back. And yeah, they were getting money on top of what I made, but they were doing me a solid. So I was good with that. But in the case of this company, when you work for a headhunter, through a headhunter, and you work for a company, the company is paying 2 to 3 times more to the headhunter staffing agency than what they're paying you. And so to convert me to a full-time employee and then offer me $9,000 a year less as a reward after putting a year and a half in the company is a fucking insult, because they could pay me twice what I was already making and be paying less than they were paying to have me there. They would still be saving money to pay me twice what I was already making. So I said, no. I said, come back at me when you get your head on straight and you start making sense. And they told me to go fuck myself and fired me because I wouldn't take the pay cut. So that's the company I worked for. That's their. Then, because out of spite, they fired everybody in my whole department who worked for that same. Sorry, Adam, I won't be listening to this anymore because you get rid of this a-hole. All right, we can put him in timeout. Let's see here. How do we do that? Not gonna get rid of the OGs. How do we do? Oh, how do we? I'm looking into this. Shit, how do I even do this? I don't remember. No. No, that's not how. Oh, there we go. Put him in. There we go. Put him in. Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me. Yeah, that's how you do it. 24 hours. How do I say yes? That's what I want to do. It doesn't look like it's sticking. All right, maybe. I think I did it. Put him in timeout. All right, so anyway. All right, someone's on timeout. I don't even want to. I can't even focus when he's arguing with everybody and starting fights. So, all right, let's get back to what we do here. I think I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know if it worked. We'll see. The user interface for YouTube is fucking terrible for the live stream. Oh, what's up, JS? I haven't seen you in a bit. You took a break. Glad to see you back. So we got the members in the house. We got channel members here. I'll be doing a members only live stream. I just don't know how to fit it into my schedule right now. So I've been putting up the daily I've been putting up these videos that I've been shooting, some not daily, but like every day or every 2 days, whatever, however I can fit it in. I'm putting them up and then letting the members watch them without ads for a day or two. And then I'm flipping it to so that the peasants can watch with ads running. And if you don't want to be a peasant anymore, all you got to do, if you want to be a part of the members only live streams that we do, you just go to the channel and you see this little join button next to the button where you subscribed. It's going to look different on your phone, but the buttons are there. So right there next to the subscribe button, there's a join button. So if you've already subscribed to the channel and you follow the channel, the join, I don't even know, the join button's going to be there. The subscribe button might say something else. Unsubscribe, I don't know. But the join button's right there. And as of right now, I didn't check today, but the last time I checked, we had 6 channel members. And wait a minute. All right, I gotta look something up. Oh man, this is technology is just on my nerves right now. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Oh, let me see. Oh, the JS had to drop out of membership. Your credit card's maxed. Yeah, I get it. I've been in the same boat myself. Fuck, dude. I mean, this fucking this. All right, all right. I guess can we do that? All right, we'll do that. I'm sorry, but the YouTube interface is fucking whacked right now. So, all right, I'm not. Yeah, if we're gonna get into fights, it ain't happening. So that's gone. Anyhow, refresh the live. I'm looking at and I'm trying to figure. I was trying to figure out. There's buttons missing from the interface. Software these days is garbage. Um, so back to the story. Um, we got the CEO who at this company, the cheapskate. Yeah, no problem, man. We'll see what's up. I was trying to put him in timeout, but the interface would pop up with the radio button. How long do you want to put him in timeout? I said 24 hours. There's no button to confirm. And so I just thought, I'm like, okay, well, do I just close a little window? And I close a little window and then boom, he comes back. And I'm like, well, fuck, that didn't work. So I had to do something else. It worked. So whatever. I don't care. Um, but anyway, so I'm at this company. We're back to the subject. We're an hour in. It's time to I got fruit flies flying around my face. I can't stand them. I got like I put some I put some house plants in here just to make my place a little more, nicer. And that attracted some gnats and fruit flies. So I'm dealing with that now. But it is that time of year. So the bugs are going to be I got some so I got to go I got to spray some stuff. I got to do some stuff. Bugs are a little bit of an issue right now. I've got stuff for every kind of bug, but I definitely got to get a little bit more um you're gonna see me go like this every I hate these fucking fruit flies. They want to go up my nose and my eyeball. Like find something else to do. Like leave me the oh my god, if I could kill the if I could drop it's almost like I want to drop a nuclear bomb on this house just to get rid of them. But then I won't have a place to live. Um anyway, so I'm working at this company. They fired me because I wouldn't take a $9,000 a year pay cut after a year and a half because that was my reward for a job well done. And out of spite because I said no, they went and fired everybody in the department who worked through the same headhunter that I worked for. So it was like 8 or 9 people lost their jobs because I turned down their job offer because that's how much spite. Like that's how fucked up this place was. And so that was the backstory because I was in a meeting where the CEO, and I just told you the joke about the Porsche and, the CEO said, thanks. If you work really hard, I'll be able to buy another one next year. Right? But I actually saw this happen. I was in a meeting, department meeting. The CEO is standing up in the front of the room and he looks at all of us as a group. We're all underpaid and he's worth millions. $400 million, I think he was worth. And he looks at all of us fucking peasants and he says, you know, it's just like when you go to the BMW dealership, you know, do you just want to get the cheapest BMW on the lot so that you can tell everybody that you drive a BMW? You know, you just want to get the 320i or, you know, the cheapest BMW with the logo on it just so you drive a car that has a Beamer logo on it? Or do you go for the M5 with all the bells and whistles? Because that's what a true BMW is. And that's what BMW is all about. And we're all looking at each other making fucking 25 grand a year like, who the fuck is this guy talking to? He's not talking to us. And that's how out of touch these fucking scumbags are. These golden parachute, billionaire child molesting scumbags that are in charge of all these fucking companies now. Treating you like garbage everywhere you go. And what is the easiest way to tell whether or not we're in a good economy or a bad economy? The number one sign is how employers treat the employees of the company. And the worse the economy gets, the worse the employees get treated. The true colors of the CEO comes out when the economy goes to shit. Because when the economy is good and there's jobs everywhere, they have to bend over and kiss your ass to get you to come to work for them. Because there have been periods of time where companies cannot find people because there's plenty of jobs, and these companies find out that they have to compete against their competitors to get people to come and work for them by offering them a good place to work and a good salary and good benefits and everything else. But now they've been able to turn that ship around to where now we live in the be lucky you have a job, you worthless piece of shit economy. And, you know, the job market right now, I don't even give a fuck about the job market now. I'm not even trying. It's fucking pointless. I couldn't even get a job at fucking Burger King, Target, McDonald's, let alone a big boy job doing what I used to do for 150 grand a year. That ship has fucking sailed. I've got to struggle and find my own way in this batshit crazy world. And if that's what God is forcing me to do because the way things are going right now, I think, you know, it's going to be harder. But if I have 6 forms of income, which I do right now, none of which are enough to survive, but when you add it all up together, I magically can pay my bills now. But at least I have the comfort of knowing that if somebody cuts off one of my heads, I'm a Hydra. And I got 5 more fucking heads, and all I got to do is regrow another head or go find another one and stick it on the neck. And I'm back to having 6 heads, a 6-headed Hydra beast. Instead of having golden handcuffs where I'm chained to a desk and that one company controls my entire destiny and my fate is in their hands. Now nobody controls me. I do whatever the fuck I want now. Within, you know, I do whatever the fuck I want in the zone of my federal district where I'm allowed to travel. And obviously I can't smoke weed or have guns or do anything fun like that. But I mean, you know, other than a bunch of shit, I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? But when it comes to like jobs, I can be on YouTube now talking to you guys about all this stuff because it don't matter what I say anymore. I can't, if I got on my hands and knees and groveled and begged for forgiveness and kissed everybody's ass and was like, nom, 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 and got my nose all covered in shit from sticking my nose so far up corporate America's ass that I got poop on my nose. Like, it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how much I grovel and how much I apologize and how much I get on my hands and knees and beg for forgiveness. Nobody will give me the time of day when it comes to a job. So I'm on my own. But the flip side of that is now I'm free. I'm free to say whatever the fuck I want to say about anything. It doesn't matter. I'm Paula Dean. I've already lost my cooking show. No, nobody, Barnes and Noble canceled all my cookbooks. You know, all that shit. I've lost it. Like, I don't got nothing to lose now, so it don't matter. And I can't get any of it back unless I find a way to do it on my own. So I just got to find my own people, my own tribe. Google and YouTube don't really make that easy. I was just watching a video like an hour ago about a guy. He's got like 85,000 subscribers, and he said some things that YouTube didn't like, and his subscriber count has been frozen for 6 months. He has like 84,932 or whatever, and it's that 932. He said that he has the exact same shit going on that I have, except he has 80-something thousand subscribers when they shadow banned him. He says like the subscriber count will go up by 2 or 3, then it goes down and up and down. And he said he had regular growth until he said a couple of things that YouTube didn't like, and now his subscriber count is frozen in place. And it won't move up or down. It just locks. And in the way he was talking about it, same exact thing is happening to my channel. 18 straight months of being 1,220 subscribers. It goes up by maybe 4 or 5. It goes down by maybe 4 or 5. But that number you see on the channel, 1.22K or whatever, it never changes. Why? Because they don't allow you. YouTube 100% controls who sees what. And the fact that, okay, this guy, he has 86,000 subscribers. He's saying the same shit I'm saying. The same way I'm saying it. Like, we are like two peas in the pod, this guy and I. But, so don't tell me that I don't have a tribe. Don't tell me that there's people out there that, you know, that I can't find people who will agree with me and want to watch the content I put out. This guy's doing the same exact shit, and he got 86,000 before they put a lock on him. I see other people, 300,000 subscribers. They said something YouTube doesn't like. Boom. That's where you're permanently locked. Once YouTube decides you say things they don't want people to hear, that's what they do. They just flip a switch, and they've got a way to keep your subscriber count locked at exactly where you are, and you will never get another subscriber again. Not even one. How do you go 18 fucking months on a YouTube channel without one new subscriber? One. How do you get one fucking subscriber? How do you not get one subscriber in I could put a fucking video of a fish bowl with a fish swimming around and make it a YouTube channel, and I would get more subscribers than that in 18 months, even if my channel only had one fucking video of the fish swimming in a fucking bowl. But when I go to these YouTube meetings, when I go to the creator community meetings that they have every other week or so, it's not my crowd. I said that in a video I'm about to post tonight, but these people aren't my crowd. There'll be a guy in there with 400,000 subscribers who plays video games. It's like, if I didn't want to talk about real shit and I just started a new channel and I said, I'm going to play Grand Theft Auto all fucking day and put it on a live YouTube stream, I'd get 500,000 people watching me play fucking video games. And I'd be making all kinds of money. Why the fuck not? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I should just go play I should go get a fucking Xbox, hook it up to YouTube, and sit and play fucking video games all day and call it a day. And that's how I make my living now, playing video games. It's like YouTube will promote the most ridiculous garbage bullshit that basically they want you to be broke, dumb, and sick. How many times have I said that in the last couple of months? They want you to be broke, dumb, and sick. Well, watching somebody play video games, like playing video games all day will make you pretty fucking dumb if that's all you do with your life. But watching people play video games all day, that's a whole nother fucking level of dumb. But, you know, the guy that plays video games on YouTube all day, he'll get 10 million fucking subscribers playing Fortnite in a fortnight. But you say some real shit like, watch this, COVID is a scam. Watch how many fucking impressions this video doesn't get now. Fuck YouTube. I hate YouTube. I fucking hate this platform so much. I really do. But we live in a world where it's a monopoly, and the lemmings, the dumbass sheep, the only place they know to go watch a video is YouTube and TikTok. And that's what they're trying to turn all these video platforms. They want you broke, dumb, and sick. Well, what better way to make people fucking stupid than basically steer them into watching 2-minute long retarded ass shit show videos of dumb fucking retards dancing around in a thong and showing their titties and doing a bunch of dumbass shit on TikTok. And then we turned Instagram into TikTok. We turned Facebook into TikTok. They're turning YouTube into TikTok. And the whole fucking thing is just going to be a bunch of retarded ass TikTok videos. When I get on YouTube, now and I go to the homepage, it's like covered in these dumbass fucking short TikTok videos. And it's hard to find actual shit to watch that I'm interested in now. Oh, because the algorithm finds it. No, the algorithm don't find what you want to watch. The algorithm is pushing the shit they want you to watch. They want you to be fucking broke, dumb, and sick. So any video that they can find that teaches you how to be broke, stupid, and fucking sick, they're going to shove that. They're not going to show you how to make money, be smart, and be healthy. You go to your home, after the live stream, don't leave the live stream because, got to stay here for the whole 3 hours. But after the stream, go to your YouTube homepage and tell me how many things you see that promote being broke, dumb, and sick versus rich, healthy, and smart. You'll answer your own question. You'll just prove me right if you do that. So, but anyway, how do we know if we're in a good or a bad economy? It's how employers treat the employees. And right now, the job market is so fucking retarded that I have just said, fuck it. I'm not even going to try. Like if a recruiter reaches out to me with a job offer and it's not some fucking Ranjit Swamihara from Bangalore, India, if it's a name I can pronounce that sounds like they might be from America, I might respond to it, but that's about it. I might go to a couple of websites where all I got to do is click, apply, and that's it. Like I'm not writing a fucking cover letter. I'm not putting I'm 2 clicks of the mouse and I'm done. That's all I'm putting into it. If I apply for a job, I'm not jumping through these fucking hoops. If it means I get to be homeless again someday, I've done it. I can do it. I can handle that. I've done it. Ain't that bad. Get some food stamps. I guess, well, thanks to fucking Trump, I won't be able to eat Ben and Jerry's on food stamps, but I'll find a way. I'll figure it out. But honestly, like the job market's done. Like America is finished. Like you are never going to see anything get better than it is today. And today it's a total fucking shit show out there. And I 100% guarantee you for the rest of your life, however short they may be, the way things are going right now, you are never going to see a day in America where things are as good as they are today. And next week, when I come back and I do the live stream, it's going to be worse than it is today. And it will never be better than it is that day ever again. Like we are at the end. We are at the end of the road, America. We're done. I would say right now, quitting your job is probably not the best advice, but I'm going to tell you, quit your fucking job, or at least find an exit strategy to get out of your job, because things are only going to get much worse. And the only way to future-proof your livelihood is to get out of the workforce before they kick you out of the workforce. If you can set something up for yourself, if you can find a way out and find a way to make a living and hustle or whatever it is that you can do before they kick you to the curb, then you're one step ahead of the game. And I mean, that's my advice, but you know, don't listen to me. Wait until they kick you to the curb and now you're, you know, struggling on unemployment and you go 2 years without being able to find a job and now you're untouchable because social proof says that you're not worth hiring. Because these fucking recruiters, these human resources recruiters, now we've talked about how the term human resources was invented so that people, they used to be called people, but they don't want you to be a person. They don't want you to be a human being anymore. They came up with this term called human resources so that they could treat you like cattle on the fucking, they could put a tag on your ear, treat you like fucking cattle out on a goddamn dairy farm, or even worse, a burger farm for McDonald's. You're just a fucking cow with a tag on your ear. Send them to the fucking slaughterhouse once you get them fattened up. These HR recruiters are, they won't read your resume. They won't even look. A human being, when you apply for a job now, no human being even looks at your resume or sees it or nothing. It's all, you have to figure out how to get past a bunch of fucking robots. You may as well have a robot write your resume and write your cover letter, because have that robot talk to the other robot, see if they can work some shit out and let a human being read the thing. Because that, I mean, it's not worth your time. It's not worth. You go to these fucking websites to apply for a job. If it takes more than 30 seconds, don't waste your fucking time. A human being is never going to see anything that you put in there. Like, you go to these corporate websites, you apply for a job and you upload your resume, and then it shows you this form. Put in every job that you've worked and the dates and the job responsibilities and blah, blah, blah. What the fuck did I just send you my resume for? What the fuck do I even upload my resume for if I got to copy and paste all the shit from my resume into the stupid boxes? Like, what the fuck did I just send you the resume for if I got to put all that shit in these boxes? So I don't. I'm just like, fuck it. Close that browser window, move on, because I'm going to spend an hour and a half applying for a job so a robot can take 3 nanoseconds to throw my shit in the trash. Fuck no. I got other things to do today. I'd rather, fuck, I'm not even going to tell you what I'd rather do. But there's a lot of things I'd rather do that would be more productive in my life than that. Scott says, I used to be a plant manager and now I can't even get a job swinging a mop because I was a caregiver for a sick partner for several years. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like women, like dating women and looking for a job are the exact same thing. So whatever rules apply to one applies to the other. Women don't want to be with a guy who's single. They only go after married men and men who are already in relationships. Why? Because if no other woman wants him, why would I want him? But when they see that wedding ring on your finger, now they're like, oh, well, there's a woman who wants him. So now I want him. He must be good at something because he's got a ring on his finger. That means some woman wants him. So now I want him. It's the same shit with the jobs. If you don't have a job, nobody will hire you. And if you do have a job, they'll be beating down your fucking door to get you to come work for them. Adam, no hate, but where the fuck is this coming from? Adam, no hate, but didn't you go to prison call supporting Donald Trump's FBI? I know you don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump either. I never fucking said I liked him. Didn't you go to prison call supporting Donald Trump's FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago? No, I said that we live in a shithole society. Number one, if you want to know the fucking details, if you want to know the Twitter post, or that's not Twitter, but Gab, whatever the fuck it was, that got me sent to prison the same week that they raided Donald Trump's house, which I was already pissed off about because we're living in a fucking police state. I don't give a shit who's in charge. Creepy old hair sniffing pedophile Joe Biden or lunatic orange douchebag Donald Trump. They all fucking suck. I've been saying that since day one. So people want to label me as a Republican or a Democrat. Like, stick around. I will talk shit about every single person in Washington, D.C. over the next 6 months. I don't leave any stone unturned. So, let's see. So, okay, so they raided Donald Trump's house. The election was stolen. If you can't, I know you're a Democrat, so obviously the election wasn't stolen. If you're a Democrat, it wasn't stolen. If you're a Republican, it was stolen. It was fucking stolen. The election was stolen. They stopped counting the ballots in the middle of the night so that they could drive to the fucking polls with a bunch of trucks of all these new ballots that we found. And they kept counting more until, well, looks like creepy old Joe Biden won. Like, I've seen elections in Mexico that were less rigged than that fucking shit show election in 2020. And then we're watching this police state unfold, of which we're still continuing to watch to this day, by the way, which I haven't let up on talking about. And so the week of the raid on Donald Trump's house, I was talking shit on the internet. Well, this one day shows up. There was a job post on, I could probably find it, but I'm not going to take the time to look right now. The IRS, irs.gov. Oh, look, it's April 15th. What a perfect day to talk about it. IRS.gov had a job listing for an IRS revenue officer. And at the bottom of the job post, in big, bold, capital letters, red, as I took screenshots of this, it said, must be willing to use deadly force for an IRS revenue officer. And so this went viral that day. And this thing went it was being shared all over the internet. And so I was like, what in the fuck? Because this is like 2 days after they raided Trump's house. And we're just watching this shit unfold. And I'm sick and tired of watching my friends lose their business. My ex at the time, they tried shutting down her salon. They were trying to take her cosmetology license because she wouldn't close her business during the COVID scam. Once again, COVID's a scam. Here you go, YouTube. Shut off my fucking subscribers for saying it. I don't give a fuck. So, we're watching this whole fucking thing go down. Like, if you can't figure out that this whole thing was a scam, that the whole COVID scam was just, it was a way to rig the election. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you live in this land of the Democrats are better than the Republicans, or you believe the Republicans are better than the Democrats, I feel sorry for you. Because so anyway, that job post, must be willing to use deadly force to collect some fucking taxes from people. What do you need what do you need to use deadly force to go get someone who's behind on their fucking tax bill? So this went viral. It was on the news. People were talking about it. The IRS had to take the job post down. It was like 11 in the morning and it was already gone because it had been all over the place all morning long. And so I posted that screenshot, and under the screenshot, I'm paraphrasing. I'd have to open up my file full of court documents to know exactly what I said. But I said, if you motherfuckers decide to come to my house, I'll be waiting for you. I'll slaughter all of you, or something like that. You fucking feds, blah, blah, blah. And I posted a few other things along those lines. But it was with the screenshot, context, etc. So that was probably Wednesday. Friday night, I'm sleeping. I hear boom, boom, boom coming from upstairs. And I'm in a room that's pitch black at 2 in the afternoon, let alone midnight. I have no idea what's going on. I thought my son dropped something upstairs, but then all of a sudden I heard breaking glass and other shit. I had a gun next to my bed. I grabbed a gun. I ran upstairs. I get to the front door, and here's the fucking FBI surrounding my house, and they almost shot me because I came to the door with a gun. Well, now all of a sudden they turned that into Adam planned to slaughter FBI agents. Who did he threaten? The entire FBI. He was going to come at them and kill them all. We had to come to his house and put a stop and save the country from this menace to society. He came to the door with a gun. Yeah, I came to the door with a gun with no shoes. I was barefoot. I didn't have a shirt on. I had a pair of fucking jeans with the belt not even buckled. I put on a pair of jeans and didn't even buckle the belt. Was barefoot, bare-chested, no shirt on, no shoes or socks. Ran outstairs to see what the fuck's going on because I heard my house being smashed to hell. They turned that into Adam is a terrorist. He was stockpiling weapons. He had 20,000 rounds of ammo, which I did. And he had like 13 guns, which I did. But the receipts that they found showed that I bought the guns over a period of like 20 fucking years. It wasn't like I went out last week, bought 20,000 rounds of ammo and 13 guns, and then decided to threaten the FBI and I'm going to go on a shooting spree and kill them all. But that's what they presented to the public. They took away all the context. They put the text that I wrote for each social media post, but they didn't share the screenshot from the IRS website where the IRS website said must be willing to use deadly force. They just put my comment and showed that to the grand jury. They didn't show the context around it. When you get indicted by a grand jury, you don't have a defender. You don't have any it's the prosecutor and the jury. You don't get to defend yourself to that. They tell whatever fucking story they want to the grand jury, and the grand jury always says guilty. Boom, go get them. So that's what happened. And so, yeah, I went and did 2 years in federal prison for a fucking tweet. The other posts, they charged me with more crimes for other posts. But the lawyer told me it's called stacking. So when they charge you with something, they basically they took that post, the one I just talked about and told you about. That was the one that tripped the wire. They could say, okay, now he went and said something because I used the words, I will fucking slaughter all of you. So now they can say that he's making threats. So then they dug around and they found some other posts where I talked a lot of shit. But my lawyer said that they were stacking the charges. So they took a bunch of other posts and charged me with the same crime because all the prosecutor needs to get is one guilty conviction for just one count, and they win. And I'm not mad at you, Dave, so don't, I'm irritated about the whole thing. So I know I come across as being pissed off a lot, but it's in the past. I'm just explaining it now since it came up, and that's what the live stream's all about. We can talk about whatever. So don't say whatever you want in the chat. We can steer this ship wherever it wants to go. So now, okay, where was I? Okay, so now I'm charged with multiple counts. Now the lawyer said these other counts are basically bullshit. We could probably get them dropped. But the options were file a motion to drop all the charges. There's no deadline for the judge. She said I could sit in jail for 2 years waiting for the judge to make up his mind on whether he wants to go to trial or drop any of the charges. But I'm sitting in jail for 2 years waiting for that. That's why the prosecutor does it, because my lawyer has to get me acquitted of all the charges and all the counts. The prosecutor only needs to get one count to stick, and I go to jail for 7 to 10 years if I go to trial. That's the other thing. That's why the federal government has a 98% conviction rate, because when they charge you with a crime, you're basically guilty. You can't afford a lawyer. Just to get a lawyer to come talk to me in jail was about $100,000, and that would just be good enough to get the lawyer to make a couple phone calls, try and get me a plea deal. Probably like 3 hours worth of work for $100,000 to pay some fucking corrupt piece of shit lawyer to make a phone call and try and get me a deal. So then they come at you with a plea deal. They were going to drop all of the counts except, well, they charged me with 2 crimes for 7 posts, each of 7 posts. So there was 14 counts. They offered to drop 12 of the 14 counts and only the 1 post. Going back to, they were watching me and they waited until I said one thing that they could charge me with a crime for and possibly get it to stick. The other ones wouldn't have stuck. And they knew they didn't have a case. So they waited and waited and waited. Oh, there we go. He said, look at what he said. We got him. But when you're in jail, sitting there for 14 months, never saw the inside of a fucking courtroom, never did, like, you're just sitting there rotting away. They came at me and they said, we'll give you a 2-year sentence. We'll drop 12 of the 14 counts. I'm like, 2 fucking years for a tweet? And I said, no. So my lawyer said that I would be better off pleading guilty to all 14 counts than taking that deal, because she would be able to get me time served and I'd be able to go home. We just had to be able to get in front of the judge, and that would speed the process along. But if I decide to go to trial, if I got convicted of just 1 count out of the 14, I could be going to prison for 7 to 10 years, because they punish you. When you go to trial, they punish you. They'll offer you a deal to streamline their paperwork and shit like that. But if you go to court and you decide to go for a trial, well, now the judge is he's gonna have to cancel this fishing trip with his buddies, because now he's got to fucking sit there and do this fucking trial when the dude just wouldn't shut the fuck up and take the deal, and blah, blah, blah. And you're basically going to be in this whole courtroom of a bunch of people who fucking hate you for wasting their time. And when it all comes down, the jury's not going to pay any attention. You're going to get a bunch of, the jury's going to go into a room and they're going to start arguing, and they're going to come up with a thing. They're going to like, well, how about we just charge him with this? How about we find him guilty of this one? That way we can all go home. Some of you will be happy. Some of you won't. We'll say he's guilty of this one. We'll drop the rest of them and say not guilty. Well, that's all it would take. And now I'm doing 7 to 10 years in prison because I decided to exercise my right to go to trial. But you're going to lose. You're not going to win. Believe me. If you get charged by the federal government with a crime, you're guilty. Done. That's how it works. You don't have rights. You don't have shit. You'll find out if it ever happens to you. And, this is another live stream topic I'm going to do, but they say because our laws are so convoluted and so corrupt and nobody knows what the fuck's going on anymore with the law, every single one of you watching this stream right now, you're guilty of 3 felonies every day. Every day of your life, all of you. Dave Gass, Running with Scissors, Glenn Beedshaw, if you're still here, even though you've been, put in time out, JS, Scott Ayers, all of you, you committed 3 felonies today. Every single one of you have done 3 felonies today. So, don't think that you're better than anybody else. They just haven't come and picked you up and put you in the prison for it. But they've designed the law so that every single one of you are committing at least 3 felonies every single day. And if you don't know, that's no excuse. What's the judge going to tell you? Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. Even if you don't know that, you don't even know the fucking law. Dave Gass I saw you put up a video, something about your lawnmower. It showed up in my feed about maintaining your lawnmower. You could be out there mowing your yard and you live in like Boston or one of these liberal places. What if you run your lawnmower over the mound of some endangered sand beetle, the East Coast endangered sand beetle, and it's a felony punishable of 5 to 10 years in prison for destroying the habitat of the endangered Boston sand beetle? or whatever it was that you ran over with your lawnmower, there you go. You just committed a felony. You didn't know, but somebody from the EPA shows up and says, hey, what are you doing back here with you trimming your grass with a lawnmower? Don't you know that's an endangered Boston sand beetle? And then you get the handcuffs slapped on, off to the Hooskow. You go. That's how it is. Now, granted, I did a little bit more to draw attention to myself than that. But that's how it is in this country. You don't have any rights. Go ahead and think you do. You'll find out. You'll all find out whether you do or not. You know, you don't think that they're watching everything you do and listening to everything you say and cataloging it all. What do you think they're building all these massive data warehouses everywhere that use? They're building a data center here in Houston that'll use more electricity than the city of Houston, the fourth biggest city in America, uses. Have you ever had the FBI hand you a PDF document that was 650,000 pages long that had every fucking thing that you've ever said or done in it? I have. I could call my lawyer. I mean, in order to get the PDF file with the 650,000 pages, I would have to have my lawyer send it to me on a hard drive, probably 5 to 10 terabytes. That's not something you can just send in a fucking email. A 650,000 page PDF document is going to be terabytes. I don't remember how big it was, but it was fucking big. Imagine trying to scroll your mouse to go to page through 650,000 pages. I opened that file. I saw it with my own fucking eyes, dude. So they're fucking, they got every fucking text message you've ever sent in your life, every website you've ever looked at, every password, everything in your bank account, every single fucking thing you've ever done on a phone, a computer, a fax machine, email, any of it. They got it. And just pull it right up. They got it all. All you girls, every titty picture you ever sent a guy that you met on Tinder, they got your titty picture. They got it. It's geotagged. They know where it was taken. They know where you live. They got it all. They got it all. And so that's basically what happened. I was talking shit. I was mad, not because I really thought Donald Trump was a great guy. What I was angry about was, I could go down the list, but COVID was a scam from day one. It totally disrupted my life and the lives of all my friends. A lot of my friends, a lot of people I know lost their businesses, were told to shut their fucking businesses down and go out of business because they weren't allowed to be open anymore. Yet friends of the governor, friends of certain people, certain businesses were allowed to stay. Walmart was allowed to stay open. Mom and pop store, you're out of business. You don't get to be in business anymore. You get to fuck off and die. People were losing their jobs. I got fired from a remote job. And this was remote from 2019 when I started working there. This wasn't remote because we're all got COVID now. This was a remote job. I was fired from a remote job because I wouldn't take the COVID vaccine. So I had to go through that. Like I said, I was dating a girl who owned a salon. They tried shutting down her fucking salon. They tried to make it so she couldn't have her livelihood. And then when she said, fuck you, I'm not going to do that, and lawyered up, they tried taking her fucking license away. And I mean, do I have to go on and on and on because I could do it for the next 10 hours? I was fucking over it by then. All of it. We watched the election get rigged. I don't give a fuck who won. We watched a rigged election that was so fucking blatantly obvious that elections in Saddam Hussein's Iraq were more on the up and up than that shit show of 2020. And you all know it. The way I explain it, it's like the Super Bowl, right? If the Pittsburgh Steelers win the Super Bowl because the refs made a bad call or because there was cheating going on, You won't find a single Pittsburgh Steelers fan that gives a shit about it, and they won't believe that that was a stolen Super Bowl. But if it was the Buffalo Bills versus, I know it can't be the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, but let's just say it was let's just say somehow the divisions changed, whatever. It's the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl, and the Steelers won, but it's because they cheated, and the refs were in on it, and the commissioner was in on it, and the Steelers got the ring, and Buffalo lost another Super Bowl number 5. They lost it again. The people in Buffalo are going to be screaming and yelling about the corruption and the cheating and everything else. And we all know, like, it was blatantly obvious that they cheated. Like, anybody with a half a fucking clue could watch the game and figure out it was rigged, to the point where nobody even wants to watch it anymore because you just know what it is. But you won't find a single Pittsburgh Steelers fan that has a problem with it. And that's exactly what happened in 2020. People who hate Donald Trump were fine with it. Well, yeah, let's let this creepy old senile hair-sniffing child molester win. We don't care as long as it's not Trump. We don't care that he cheated. We know it was rigged. It was fucking obvious. I mean, Vladimir Putin's elections in Russia are more on the up and up than this shit was. Fuck it. We're not going to look the other way. If Donald Trump had cheated and won the election because it was rigged, you would have all been pissed. So I just saw it. I'm like, yeah, it was a rigged election. It was so fucking obvious. Like, if you can't see that, then you're blind. Like, they did it right in front. They did it in your face. They made it so blatantly obvious that you'd have to be a complete nincompoop not to figure it out. I'll never vote again. I give a fuck about voting ever again. I can't vote in Texas as a convicted felon. But if I ever live somewhere where I can vote again, I'd give a shit about it. Oh, put 2 bowls of shit in front of me and I got to tell you which one smells the best. I got better shit I've got better things to do today than that. So I'm not. So let's see, where are we? So yeah, I watched the whole country fall apart, and I finally, so add that along with, I just went on a business trip to Rochester, New York for the company I was working for. I spent a week living out of a hotel, came home, went on a 2-week trip with my ex down to Tennessee, living out of the back of a pickup truck camper for like almost 2 weeks. Came home from that and immediately took my son on a 3-day backpacking hike through the Allegheny National Forest, living out of backpacks for 3 days. And then immediately after coming home from that was the day that they raided Donald Trump's house. So I was a bit tired, exhausted, worn out. I'd pretty much, granted, it was all fun stuff, but imagine how worn out you would be after a week business trip, followed by 2 weeks on the road living in the back of a pickup truck, followed by 3 days living in the forest out of a backpack, and then all of a sudden they raided Donald Trump's house after all this other shit. And I just started getting my life back together after being fired from a remote job, for not taking a fucking shot from Dr. Fauci. Yeah, I was mad. I was pissed off. Now, did that give me the right to say the things that I said? No. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to explain, because people ask me all the time, like, what drove you over the edge? Well, now you know. I had been dealing with this fucking shit show. It was 2022 in August. Since March 13th, 2020, our lives have been flipped upside down, and day after day after day after day after day, it was just more bullshit and more bullshit and more bullshit, watching the whole thing. And I'd finally just had enough, and I started running my mouth, and I went too far. And do you know how many people have told me since I came home from all of this that they felt the same way? And that honestly, it was because of what happened to me, because they made a national spectacle out of the whole thing. I was all over Fox News and CNN and NBC, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, CBS, ABC, NBC, the Washington Post, the Washington Times, the New York Post, the New York Times, all the newspapers and TV stations in Buffalo, New York, Rochester, New York, Pittsburgh, any city that I had a connection with, they were blasting it all over the place. My best friend found out what happened to me because his brother, who lives in Alaska, called him and said, "Hey, what the fuck happened to Adam? I just saw him on TV." Huh? Paul gets on TV. My friend gets on TV. He's like, holy shit, I'm on Fox News. Everybody in my town that I grew up with found out about it because it was the #1 fucking news story. They made a big spectacle out of it. Look at what these horrible Trump supporters are up to now. We're going to get them and we're going to lock them up. They locked me up with the January 6th people. Don't you think that sends a message? I have their fucking contact info in my desk right next to me. Right now, I could get in touch with any of them. We could storm the Capitol together, but I'm not allowed to have any contact with a convicted felon while I am. And I don't know if it counts. If it's a convicted felon who was pardoned by Donald Trump, I don't know if I'm allowed to contact them now. So I just don't even care. But, you know, I could get in touch with all the January 6th people and say, hey, let's go storm the Capitol tomorrow. We could make that happen again. And the way Trump's acting right now, I don't think anybody's going to get a pardon this time. Not unless you're an Israeli citizen with an Israeli passport. It's about the only way you're going to get away with that now. But I mean, that's what worked. That's what I got so mad that I said a bunch of dumb shit on a social media site called Gab, where there's nobody there. It's not like I was screaming it out at the world, but like the FBI, the prosecutor concocted this whole fucking story about how I had been planning on assassinating people from the government and stockpiling weapons. And I'd been planning this for a long time and blah, 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 blah. They made up a bunch of, the FBI agent committed perjury on the stand in front of the whole fucking courtroom. They all saw it. They all gasped because my lawyer nailed him on it. She proved that he was a liar. He said that he went down into my bedroom and looked out the window in my bedroom and saw all the flashing lights. And that's why I should have known that it was the police before I even came upstairs with the gun. So my lawyer goes, oh, you stand by that? You stand by that statement? He says, yes, I do. So she goes, well, I want to present this video evidence. They went to my lawyer went to my house. You know, I'm in jail, but she went to the house at 2 p.m. on a bright sunny day with a camera. They walked into the house. They walked down the stairs and went into the bedroom, and it was pitch black. Why is it pitch black? Because there was a window down there, but on top of the window, there was an addition of the house. So there's a concrete slab, and that window, it's a glass block window, and it's buried in dirt. It's buried in dirt. And there's an addition to the house, a sunroom built above where that window was in the bedroom. So in the bedroom at 2 p.m, it's pitch black. You can't even see your hand in front of your face on a bright sunny day. And she's like, and then she turns on in the video, she turns on the light switch and she looks at the window, the glass block window. And she says, is that the window that you could see out of and see all the flashing lights? And she's like, how come I can't even see the fucking sun on a bright sunny day? When I turn the lights off, pitch black. And then the prosecutor jumps in and starts, objection, they're faking it, they're doing Photoshop trickery and all this and that. It was a fucking goddamn kangaroo court. If you get arrested by the federal government, it is a fucking kangaroo court that you're walking into, and you got no rights. You don't have any fucking rights. Like, I didn't believe I didn't realize how bad and how corrupt everything is in this country until I was put through that. That's a wake-up call. And do you want to sit here and have me tell you other people's stories? I heard a story last week. I'm just going to tell you one. Somebody's on federal probation. Federal, the same thing I'm going through right now. And like I said, you're not allowed to have contact with other convicted felons. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, invited this woman to come to the White House and receive an award for something that she did since she's been out of prison, activism, putting her life together, setting a good example for people who are formerly incarcerated, something like that. She's getting a presidential award at the White House from the President of the United States. Okay? When she came back home, her probation officer tried to have her probation revoked. You know why? Because when she went to the White House to meet the President of the United States, to get an award from the President of the United States, there were other convicted felons in the room getting an award from the President of the United States. And so when she came home from that, her probation officer tried to have her probation revoked because she was associating with other convicted felons. Remember, associating with convicted felons at the White House, who were all getting an award from the President of the United States. So because they tried to do that to her, Donald Trump had to turn around and give her a full pardon so that she wouldn't have to go back to fucking prison for associating with convicted felons at the fucking White House. That's how fucking corrupt this shit fucking country is. That is how fucking bad things are here. I'm not making this up. My fucking imagination is wild, but it's not that wild. It's fucking insane. Like, this country is finished, people. It's over. America is done. Go ahead and call me a tinfoil hat nut job. I don't give a fuck. I've seen it. You've seen it. If you don't believe it, it's because you're living in denial at this point. But holy shit, now we're like another hour into the stream. But hey, that's how it goes on the live stream. Somebody says things, we're going to have a little discussion back and forth. You steered me in that direction. I can clip this up into a bunch of YouTube shorts. I'm supposed to be putting those up on my channel to try and break free from obviously, I'm not getting out of my shadow ban with anything I've talked about tonight. You know what I mean? And people are going to see the thumbnail for and then they're going to watch the replay of the live stream and they're going to be like, when's he going to talk about the subject that was on the damn thumbnail and the title of the video? Well, it's live. That's what happens. You never know what's going to happen. And if you think I don't have a filter now, you may as well become a channel member, because when we, the things that I hold back tonight, we have this rule when we do the members only live stream that whatever happens in the members only live stream stays in the members only live stream. Las Vegas rules apply. So we'll just leave it at that. So I don't know. I mean, if that's I've had to tell this story so many times that, like, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm really not. So, but I've told the story so many times, I think I just need a video link and I can just be like, here. I'm done telling this story. But I'm a storyteller, so I don't care. I get this government is so... Remember, nobody even argues with me about, like, people used to call me a tinfoil hat nut job, spreading in misinformation. You're a liar. None of these things are true, blah, blah, blah. Now... nobody calls me a liar anymore. The only thing that people say now is like, well, what can we do about it? There's nothing we can do about it. But now that's progress. That's progress, because, it was like 15 years ago, I was a liar spreading misinformation. Of course, they flew planes into the buildings. That's why the Twin Towers fell. Well, what about Building 7 that fell that didn't get hit by a plane? You forgot about that one, didn't you? Oh, well, I'm just a tinfoil hat nut job that don't know nothing. Well, here's the owner of the World Trade Center saying they pulled it. He's on PBS. He admitted that they demolished the building. But, I'm the tinfoil hat nut job liar, spreading misinformation. And now people don't call me that anymore. Now they just say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. So, like, we're ruled over once again. Our country is ruled over by billionaire, satanic, child molesting scumbags. And once they figured out that they could get away with raping kids, they're like, we can fucking do whatever we want. We can do whatever the fuck we want now. The only time they ever get in trouble is when they get into a squabble. Two billionaire child molesters get into a squabble. One of them might have to step down from Congress and the other one gets to keep their job, but they're all doing the same shit. Melania just got up on TV last week for no fucking reason saying, I never knew Jeffrey Epstein. And now there's 150 pictures of her hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein while she's dancing on a fucking stripper pole. Like, what the fuck? Nobody's calling me a liar anymore. The only thing people are saying now is, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, and they call a lot of times, or they call me an asshole. Adam's an asshole for talking about this stuff. Adam, why don't you just keep your mouth shut? Why are you such an asshole? I'm like, I'm the asshole. This is the thing that always cracks me up. I'm the asshole. But the child molesting billionaires, they don't get to be an asshole today. It's just me because I'm talking about it. I'm the asshole. Bill Gates raped a fucking kid. He's not an asshole. Pam Bondi. Oh, why are you not releasing the Epstein files? And her answer was, look at the Dow. The Dow is 50,000 now. We can't be talking about this. Look at the stock market. It's doing great. Bitch, that's not the fucking question we asked you. Like, what the fuck is going on? But once again, that's what people say now. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to have to let them rape our kids and have their little Epstein Island party. So I guess so if Bill Gates shows up at your house and says, hey, I want to fuck your little boy in the ass, are you just going to be like, well, Johnny, you're going to have to go with this man here. Don't argue with him. Just do what you're told, little Johnny. He's going to stick his pee-pee in your butthole, and you're just going to have to do what you're told because we got a nice house and daddy can't lose his job because he's standing up for you. There's nothing we can do about it. You're just going to have to let him do what he does. And, I'm sure they'll bring you back someday and you can just put this all in the past. Like, is that what we're doing now? It's okay. Oh, the stock market's doing great, so fuck them. Let them rape the kids. But Adam's the asshole. Adam's the asshole for bringing this subject up at the Thanksgiving dinner table. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get invited to Thanksgiving dinner anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, man? But I'm the asshole. Fine. I didn't rape any fucking kids. I went to prison for 2 fucking years for a Twitter post. But these billionaires can rape kids all day and they get to live their best life. Tell me this country is not finished. Keep telling me that. I don't even know at this point how to go back. I don't know how to circle back to talking about corporate America after we went on this little side trip, but it's been fun. It's been a wild ride. This is what we do on the live stream. It's, you got me going. Human resource. But I mean, this is the thing. You go to work for these companies and these recruiters, for example, these human resources recruiters, like I said, you send your resume to a company. A human being don't read it. They don't read the cover letter. A machine decides who's the best one to show to call in for the interview or whatever. But then the recruiter, the humans, they're like hyper focused on trying to find anything negative about you that they can find. Well, I'm making it very easy for them. Here's my YouTube channel. There's my name. It's either up there or up there, wherever the fuck it is. There's my name. There's my face. And here's all the shit that I said today. Ta-da! Have at it. Do I really want to go and work for a billionaire scumbag who rapes kids? Like, do I want to go work at Microsoft and have a good career with a child molester CEO boss that I can't talk about because I'll lose my job? Oh, they'll look at Adam. We can't hire him. He talks about Bill Gates being a child molester. He can't work for Microsoft. But Bill Gates can be in charge of Microsoft even though he rapes a bunch of fucking kids and poisons the fucking earth and is doing all kinds of goofy ass shit with a bunch of mad scientists that he gives money to and all this other wacky shit that he does. And that's fine. The human resources ain't doing a background check on that. But I can't go write some code for the next version of Windows or do some user experience design for that because I called Bill Gates a fucking child molester. Well, that's why his wife dumped him. His wife dumped him because he flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane about 25 too many fucking times. So, yeah. Oh, darn, I'm going to miss out on all those wonderful opportunities that what could have been. Great. But, okay, so here's something I discovered recently. The human resources bitch at your company is too busy to read your fucking resume or to go over your qualifications for the job. But when she gets your name from the system, like I said, she's going on a fucking journey trying to dig up any negative thing that she can find about you. And you know how they ask you for references, right? They ask you for, 5 references or whatever. And are you really that dumb that you're going to send a company references that you haven't talked to, that you're not friends with? Like, you're not going to send them your old boss's contact information if you think that your old boss is going to talk shit about you. You're sending your old boss that you go drinking with on Tuesdays and play, soccer with on the weekends or whatever, your buddies. You're sending them your friends so that you're going to get a good reference. Right? Well, they know this. I don't even know why I don't even send references anymore. I think it's a waste of time. If they ask me for references, I just peace out. I don't even bother anymore. Because it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, oh, you want me to send you a list of 5 people who are friends of mine who are going to say nice things about me? Is it just a test to see if I have 5 people on the planet Earth that will say something nice about me? Fuck, I could get like 10 of you to send me your information and use you as my references. And I don't even know any of you in person. I'll make up some bullshit like we collaborated together on live streaming initiatives, right? Whatever. What the fuck is the point? So I'm not even doing it anymore. I am so checked out and done with this shit. I'm done. I just don't care anymore. Like the amount of not giving a fuck that I have right now is at a level I never thought possible, not even for myself, and I never gave a fuck before. And yet there was a whole nother level that I was able to dig out and be like, holy shit, there's a whole bunch more not giving a fuck that I didn't even know about till now. And so now these HR recruiters, when they get your resume now, before they even call you in for an interview or a phone screen or just getting the process started, they get on the phone and they start calling and they start emailing people. They'll go to your LinkedIn account and they'll look at all the companies you used to work for and they'll just start calling random people that you're connected with and start asking about you. They call it the backchannel references. You don't know that they're doing it. They do it behind your back. They don't have your permission to do it. And from what I understand, 8 out of 10 of the back channel reference checks that they do on potential candidates for jobs come back negative. Because if you dig in the sewer, guess what? You're probably going to find a fucking turd somewhere. So that's what they do now. They're digging. They're literally going down into the sewer looking for a fucking turd that they can use against you. It's like, yeah, if you climb down into the fucking septic tank here where I live, you'll see a couple of stinky turds I dropped last week. Guess what? Have at it. Don't tell me that you're not going to find a human being out there who's ever had a job, who never had a disagreement with somebody at work. But all it takes is one former coworker that they reached out to through LinkedIn or some other shit. They found somebody you used to work with somehow by, they don't got time to read resumes, but they got time to do this shit. One former coworker that you had a disagreement with, and it'll derail your whole job search. It's over. Like, who has a squeaky clean record? You think I do? Like, I can't survive in this game. And I don't want to. I don't even want to. Oh my God, there's so many things that we only got an hour left. This is going to be a part 3 on this one because I have so many notes and stories about this shit. I don't even know how to get through a third of what I have left tonight. They can go to your LinkedIn account and they can see 3 degrees. You know, the Kevin Bacon game, how many people does it take to get from this actor to Kevin Bacon? You can do that on LinkedIn. So like if you're friends with somebody on LinkedIn and they're friends with somebody and friends with somebody else, and then they can look and see, and they've got tools for this. If you have like a professional recruiter kind of LinkedIn account, there's fucking shit there's tools that help them do this. It's like the CIA when they're trying to figure out your phone net. Well, he's friends with so-and-so and this number calls this number and this number is connected to all these numbers and that. So this one must be the crack dealer and this one must be the supplier. And, that's what the same shit they're doing now, just for you to get some shitty ass job in a cubicle. Or not even a cubicle anymore. They took those away. They just stick you on a fucking desk in a big open room with 150 people around you all talking, and you're shoulder to shoulder in front of your fucking desk, and you don't even have enough room for your monitor. All these places are so awful to work for now. But like I said, 8 out of 10 of these informal background checks come back negative. Not because the person's unqualified, but because they dig and dig and dig until they find somebody that, somebody who had an old grudge with, somebody who resented something, somebody who's trying to get back at you. I'll talk shit about so-and-so. Like, honestly, if I got a phone call about some douchebag I used to work for, I would be like, I can definitely ruin this guy's chance to get a job. Why? Let me tell you about this motherfucker and why you shouldn't hire him. I would do that. I'm not immune to that. I would totally talk shit about someone I didn't like if I got some rant. First of all, I'm probably not going to answer the phone, but if an email popped up saying, hey, we know you used to work with so-and-so, and it was some scumbag piece of shit that I didn't like, I would be like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Anything I can do to ruin that person's chance of getting a new job, I'll do it today. That's what they know this. That's why they're doing it. They're trying to get all the dirt. And the funny thing is, even though they go and do this behind your back without your knowledge, they are going to turn around and ask you for 5 references. All the purple crowns by your names and stuff. It has something to do with how much you participate in the chat. Like whether you're the first one, you're like number 1 now. I guess that means you chatted the most. Number 2 means you're second place, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, these background checks, you don't know they're doing it. You never gave them permission to do it. They're doing it behind your back. Obviously, all it takes is one Google search on my name and game over. I get to like the 4th round of interviews at some of these companies, and I'm just thinking to myself, did nobody fucking go to Google yet? Like, how did I get to round 4? Like, how? I would have Googled me. If I was hiring somebody, you don't get to the 4th fucking interview without me looking you up on Google, for crying out loud. That doesn't mean I wouldn't hire the guy. I mean, I'd probably be like, oh my God, another convicted felon. Bring him in. We got to check. Well, I wouldn't be able to hire him because I'm on probation and I could go to prison for that. So I'd have to turn him down. I can't associate with a convicted felon. So I certainly can't even do this job interview because that would get me put back in prison. You can't even go to the White House to get an award from the president of the United States if there's another convicted felon there also getting a reward. So, let alone having them come in for a fucking job interview if I'm the hiring manager somehow. But in order to be the hiring manager, I'd have to be able to get a fucking job, which I haven't even been able to do that. So, whatever. They do these background checks before the first interview. So if you go in to a job interview, you can pretty much rest assured that some douchebag from HR already been spying on you. You know, a couple of Google searches, yeah, if low hanging fruit, yeah, I'm gonna, fuck, man. I went to hire somebody who was, I was looking for a guy to do my lawn back in the day. And I almost hired a guy, but he didn't know where, he didn't have my address yet, but I had the guy's name and I looked him and then I did a Google search and I'm like, oh shit, he just got out of prison for raping a 70-year-old lady or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need my lawn. I'll mow my own lawn this week. Good. So I didn't need that. One Google search, all it took. I eventually did find somebody to come mow my yard. Turns out the guy who was mowing my yard had a criminal background, but he didn't rape a 75-year-old. Like, what the fuck would make you want to rape a 75-year-old woman in the first place? I don't know, but everybody, different strokes, different folks. I don't know, man. It's fucked up. But if I was married, if I was 80 years old and had a 75-year-old wife, I wouldn't want to sleep with her anymore, let alone rape her or go to the nursing home to rape old women. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I discovered with one Google search. And I was like, woo, glad I didn't give him my address to come check out my lawn and give me a price. Because that might have been, I'm glad I found out before than finding out after. You do a little bit of due diligence is not unheard of. Once again, that's why I don't know how I get to round 4 in the job interview process at some of these companies before they find out and then say no thanks. How did I get to the first interview, let alone interview number 4 with the CEO of the fucking company? That happened. I've interviewed with CEOs. And I'm sitting there going, do you not know? Like, did you never look? Nobody looked this up on Google, but I'm playing along. I'm playing the game. Just doing what I'm trying to get a fucking job, trying to put my life back together. I'll just, don't ask, don't tell. When they do the background check, I'll tell before they run it. But no need to get myself kicked out of the room yet. Okay, here's another one to watch out for. Don't put your current company on LinkedIn ever. I've never done that. I might, but you're going to put it on your resume when you're looking for a new job. But when they do these behind the background checks, these recruiters, they call your company that you currently work for and try to find your boss and start asking your boss about you behind your back without your permission. And now your boss and now the company that you work for know that you're looking for a new job and you're planning on getting out of there. And now you've ruined your current job just by trying to find a new job. That's how fucking underhanded and shitty that is now. These fucking recruiters, these HR cunts. See you next Tuesday. Anybody who left because I said that. These fucking cunts are calling your boss without your permission, behind your back, without your knowledge, because they got your resume for a job you're trying to get. And now your boss and everybody you work with that's, that doesn't need to know, they all know that you're looking for a new job now, and now you're marked for death. Now you're a marked man. Now you're going to be thrown out into the street because now they know you don't want to work there anymore. And that's going to cause you a lot of problems in a lot of these places. Every past colleague, every single person from your past employment, every frustrated manager, every employee that you were the boss of. What if you were the one that had to break the news to an employee that you had to let somebody go? It wasn't even your decision. You think that person's going to say something nice about you when some HR cunt calls them up asking about you? That's going to be me going, oh, fuck, I get to throw this guy under the bus. Here we go. Here we go. I mean, don't be on. The thing is, I would say don't even be on LinkedIn. But now you're at the point where you can't get a job at Burger King if you're not on fucking LinkedIn. like Burger King, you fill out a Burger King application, they want a fucking URL for your LinkedIn profile. Why? So you can see my extensive experience at working at McDonald's and my stint at Chick-fil-A. And, I worked at Taco Bell for 6 months and now I'm trying to work at Burger King. Moving up that fucking ladder, the LinkedIn ladder. Like, what the fuck, man? There are so many vetting systems. They're doing so many crooked things now. And why? Because they can. Because the economy's in the toilet. They put up, the economy's in the toilet so bad that they put up a job posting to clean the toilets, and they get 6,000 fucking job applications, people wanting to come clean the fucking toilets. So now they're going to vet the toilet cleaner. Imagine how much Donald Trump's transition team or whatever the fuck his campaign team had to vet J.D. Vance before they picked him as the running mate. Imagine all the phone calls and the background checks and all the different things that they do before they decide who's going to be the vice president. That's the level of shit that they're doing for now for you to get a job at fucking McDonald's. like they're trying to put people through that level of shit. Like you're on the short list for VP. You're going through the same fucking scrutiny and background checks to be a fry cook at McDonald's that J.D. Vance went through before he said yes to the offer to be vice president. Like, that's what they're fucking doing. Like I said, man, I don't even know what to talk about next, but the background, the thing, oh my God, they're doing so much shit. Like I said, they're going to check Google. They don't have a human being to look at your resume, your qualifications, your experience, or anything that has to do with the fucking job. But they got all the time in the world to go digging around in the sewer looking for a turd. They're like I said, they're doing the back channel background check. They're calling everybody. They're emailing everybody you ever knew or worked with. They're going back and asking your fourth grade teacher. If they go and call my fourth grade teacher, if she's still alive, what was Adam like when he was in the fourth grade? Well, I remember when the Challenger blew up in front of the whole fucking classroom, Adam made a joke about how do you know Krista McAuliffe had dandruff? Because there was Head and Shoulders all over the beach. Right? That's going to come up in the background check, and I'm fucked. I'm fucked. And that was that was the fourth grade. What are they going to find out about eighth grade? Isn't that when Paula Dean said something racist and they found out some shit she said in the eighth grade, I think, and she lost her all. She doesn't have no more cookbooks. She doesn't have a cooking show anymore. Fuck, man. Last week on the live stream, I was talking about the Whammo R&B music channel in Pittsburgh having the all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs dinner cruise. And if you want to listen to that, go back to last week's stream. I should be losing my whole livelihood because of what I talked about there, according to the new standards. Let alone getting a fucking job when they do the background checks that they do now. Let alone, what they're going to find that I'm a felon. They're looking at your social media. They're digging into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They're looking at all of it. All of it. They're looking for nefarious shit that might embarrass the company. You think? I mean, if I went to work for Halliburton asked me if I wanted to interview, to talk to them about a job. And I'm like, well, I guess I can't talk about Dick Cheney being a fucking war criminal, can I? Because he used to be the CEO of Halliburton. So they're going to find that. It's probably not going to be too much of a, you can probably search YouTube's transcripts that go with the videos and, oh, look at that. Adam talked shit about our company. I don't think there's a big company I've missed in our discussions over the last several months. Can't work for Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, none of this shit. None of them. That's out. Maybe X. Oh, yeah, you missed it. You'll have to go back. Blue Sky, what's up? Good to see you. Channel member with the star. OG channel member. I think you were the first one. But you're going to have to listen to this whole show today. Go after Enron. That's Ken Lay. Remember how he, just before he was supposed to be convicted, all of a sudden he died of a heart attack. Just like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself and he vanished. And because of that, his wife got to keep all the money that he embezzled from the people of California. She got to live her best life. He's living his best life somewhere on some island. He had enough money to buy one. He got to keep all the money that he scammed people out of. Oh, yeah, he died of a heart attack. Right. There you go. Pick a topic. I'll have a story for you. Okay, so when they do these background checks, when they're looking up your social media profiles and stuff, things that can get you excluded would be obscene cursing. Oh, I certainly haven't done any of that tonight, have I? Disturbingly unprofessional behavior. Yeah, I've never done anything like that online. Venting about, I used to keep an online journal about a company I worked for that was so fucking batshit crazy that I just posted everything that I witnessed at work on Facebook. Didn't even care. They never fired me for it because they weren't paying that much attention back then. But yeah, talking shit about your company, a company you used to work for when you're looking for a new job, pictures of you drinking beer at a party, anything like that. They're looking for anything. Like I said, they're putting on a scuba diving outfit, jumping in the sewer, trying to find a turd. They're probably going to find one. It don't matter who you are. There's a turd floating in your septic tank somewhere. They're going to find it. Instagram comments. Just saying, I hate my boss as a comment on a social media post that somebody else made have gotten people fired from their jobs because the company, these HR cunts, have nothing better to do than they're trying to find any reason they can to get rid of you. And then they're going to do the basics. They're going to go to your LinkedIn profile and check that your profile matches your resume. If you put a bunch of jobs on your resume, but they don't show up on your LinkedIn account. They're going to look at that like you're lying because you might be afraid to list it publicly on LinkedIn, where people who actually work at some company that you claim to have worked for. I don't even know if that could be considered a crime to say that you worked for such and such bank and you never did. And then you put it on LinkedIn that you were vice president of some shit at some bank that you never worked for. I don't even know if like you could go to jail for that. Wouldn't surprise me if you could. So anyway, oh, and we talked about this. We talked about if you have a computer from your job, that's the only thing that you do with that computer. You don't do fucking nothing else with that computer. Okay. They can review everything you do with that computer. And we talked about this in great detail. Now, I was in federal prison with a guy who, out of all the companies he could have fucking worked for, he happened to work for Fisher Price, making, helping make toys for the little kids. And he was doing a 20-year bid or something. I think he was doing like 10-year bid for having child porn on his work computer from Fisher fucking Price. And he, at work, because he told me about this stuff, he said it at work, he was downloading pictures, porn pictures, like thousands of pictures a day. He said he had a whole fucking big ass hard drive full of porn pictures. And the kiddie porn came from some website he went to. And as you scroll the page down, looking for the pictures you want to bust your nut to, I guess there was pictures of little kids mixed in with the thumbnails. And the thumbnail pictures are what got him in trouble because they were in the browser cache. But the way he got caught was his boss came up behind him one day while he was doing his thing, beat one out or whatever the fuck he was doing. And they saw what was on his screen and they basically escorted him out of the building. And then like a year and a half later, the FBI shows up in his driveway and takes him away. So they took his work computer and they basically found all the porn on it, that like massive amounts of porn or whatever. And they turned the computer over to the FBI to see if they could like do something to him or whatever. And like I said, a year and a half later, the FBI showed up at the guy's house and took him away because he's fucking just downloading porn on his work computer at work at fucking Fisher Price. Wow, man. I can't make that. I got a wild imagination, but I can't make this shit up. So no, rule number 1, don't download porn on your work computer while you're at work. And in fact, probably not at all on your work computer. Just handy tip. Handy fucking, do we even have to have handy tips about that? But the amount that they can spy on you with your company computer now is gone way beyond walking up and looking over your shoulder and seeing your porn collection and then taking a year and a half to figure out all the shit you downloaded. So like they can monitor everything. They're monitoring your keystrokes, your mouse movement. This one company, I stopped working for them when I read this document. I worked for a startup that got bought out by a bigger company, and they sent me a thing saying like all the things that I agree to be monitored. See this camera right here on my MacBook, right? So I would have my MacBook. They would have software running on my MacBook that uses the camera right here to watch my eyeballs. And they're watching the movement of my eyeballs to make sure I'm sitting at my desk working all day, tracking my fucking eyeball movement. Not just the mouse, because they have things that. That's why you have to go on Amazon. I'm going to show you. Just let me show you how these things work. Okay, so okay, perfect. They got things on Amazon now called a mouse jiggler. So what you do, it's a little platform and it has like a design on it and it rotates and it goes in random directions. And so you stick your mouse on this thing and this thing it spins and it causes the computer cursor to move all over the screen and stuff. And basically it tricks the company spy software into thinking that you're moving your mouse all day when you're not at your desk. So that's what you have to get now to, like, you have to combat the spy shit with your own spy shit just to be able to keep your job now. Because like you get up to go to the bathroom, they're going to see, oh, Adam's mouse didn't move for 5 minutes. Well, maybe I was taking a shit. But now I got to have a fucking mouse jiggler so I can go jiggle a deuce down in the fucking toilet bowl without losing my fucking job today. Like, I don't need that shit. I don't need that. Why do I want to go work for that? Can't, like, you could put a piece of tape over your monitor, over your light. But okay, so on the MacBook right here, there's a little light that shows that your camera is turned on. They can bypass that so that they can watch you through the camera of your laptop without the little light being on. So you don't even know that your camera is turned on and they're watching you. Like, you work from home and you walk around in your fucking underwear in front of your work computer. And guess what? Your boss just saw you walking around in your underwear. You got to keep that fucking lid shut when you're not working. I mean, there's a dude from CNN. Like, this is how fucked up these places are. CNN, who is this guy? We're going to look this up. Who was the guy from CNN who got fired for beating one out during a Zoom meeting? Question mark. Jeffrey Toobin. There you go. Boom. Found it. Jeffrey Toobin, a longtime CNN legal analyst, a New York staff writer. In October 2020, he was caught masturbating on a camera during a Zoom video conference call with colleagues from The New Yorker and WNYC Radio. Following an internal investigation, who the fuck had to watch that video as part of the investigation? I would like to know, or maybe not. The New Yorker fired Toobin in November 2020 after 27 years with the magazine. While CNN initially granted him time off to deal with the personal issue, he was reinstated as a chief legal analyst 8 months later in June 2021. So if you're in the right club, you can beat one out during a Zoom meeting, lose your job for a few months, and get hired back. I don't think I've ever worked at a place where I can just beat one out during a Zoom meeting in front of the all hands. That they call it the all hands company meeting for a reason, don't they? I haven't worked at a company where I could beat one out during the fucking Zoom meeting and then get my job back a couple months later. CNN, although, I mean, I was in prison with the producer of the brother of the governor of New York. Andrew Cuomo is the governor of New York. His brother, what's the guy's name? Chris Cuomo had a TV show on CNN. Chris Cuomo's producer got caught raping a 9-year-old girl, and he's doing a 20-year bid. And I was in spinning class with the guy and fucking, worked out with the guy at the prison gym. So I know the whole fucking story. Except for, I don't know the details about him raping the 9-year-old girl, but that's what he did. His mother sold the girl to him, and she's doing a prison bid. Like, that's what these people are. Oh no, we're not ruled over by a bunch of billionaire child molesting satanic scumbags in Washington, D.C. But the brother of the governor of New York had a producer at CNN who bought a 9-year-old girl from her mom and raped her at his ski chalet up in fucking Killington, Vermont. You know? And I knew the fucking guy. I'm not, I mean, you can look this up. Every single thing I told you, you can find exactly. I just gave you the key to the kingdom to find out all you need to know about that. Google away. I got other things to talk about. But I can't get a job at fucking Burger King because of a mean tweet. Did 2 years in prison for a fucking tweet. Now, granted, he's doing 20 years. And when he gets out of prison for raping the kid, for buying the kid from her mom to rape her, he's going to be on probation for the rest of his life. He'll be on lifetime federal probation. So he'll have to deal with all the shit. But he's coming home. He's going to be rich. He has a mansion on fucking Long Island Sound. There's pictures of it. Look it up. You can see pictures of his mansion in in Connecticut on Long Island Sound. He's gonna go home. He'll 20 years away from now, or whatever he's got left, 15 more years or whatever. He's not gonna have to have a job. He'll get to go home and be rich. Chris Cuomo, CNN will probably give him his fucking job back. CNN will probably, mark my fucking words, he'll have a job at CNN when he gets back. Oh my God. If you can beat one out during the company Zoom meeting at CNN, you can definitely get your job back for buying a 9-year-old girl from her mom to rape. You can get your job back. That's who's in charge now. Adam's the asshole. Adam's the asshole for talking about this stuff. But, you know, the producer of the governor of New York's brother, who had a show on CNN, bought a 9-year-old girl from the girl's mother so that he could rape her at his ski chalet up in Killington, Vermont. Is he the asshole, or just me for talking about it? Fuck, dude. But they're watching you at work, unless you work at CNN. If you work at CNN, you probably get away with some shit from what it sounds like. But most companies are, let's say you go to Slack. All the companies are using Slack now to instant message the other employees. You got to reach out to someone. Hey, do you know where the fucking TPS reports are? Here you go. You send them a message. You get a message back from Slack. We use Slack at the bakery I work at. If you type something into Slack, like, fuck you, motherfucker, I hate this job, you can go fuck yourself. But then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to delete that and not send it. The shit's already done, dude. If you typed it out on your computer, but you did not hit the send button and you just had a change of heart, you were having a bad day, you're like, go fuck yourself, you fucking cunt. And then backspace, highlight, delete, and you didn't send it, they already know. They already know your keystrokes were logged because of the words that you used. It got flagged. Somebody's looking at it. They took a screenshot of your screen when you typed it. They know. They know that you hate your job, that so-and-so is a fucking cunt, according to you, and they already know what's on your mind. You didn't have to hit the send button. You're going to get fired just for typing that shit out. You do not use your fucking work computer to do anything that's not your job. Nothing. Don't accidentally Google something on your fucking work computer. Especially if it's like, I want to see naked pictures of so-and-so. Don't forget that it's your work computer and not your personal computer, and just go randomly Googling some crazy shit or look at this meme or whatever. They're doing everything. If you don't think that they're watching everything that you do, remember, I just told you today, and I've said it many times, the FBI gave me a PDF document as part of my discovery in my case. And that PDF document was 650,000 pages. 650,000 pages of, here's all the shit we found about you. Here's all the shit we found that you say and do, and every website and every password, and here's all your fucking bank accounts, and here's every single fucking thing you ever typed into a keyboard or on your phone. Every girl who ever, like I said, every girl who's watching right now, every titty picture you ever sent to some guy you were trying to meet on Tinder, they got your titty picture. Every girl who ever sent me a titty picture that I was talking to on Tinder, the FB that was in the PDF, I was like, oh, I remember her. It was nice, some nice titties there. Yeah, the titty pictures were in the PDF. Every girl who ever sent me a fucking titty picture who I'd ever dated was in the 650,000 page PDF document. They have it all. They have it all. They have every fucking thing you've ever done on a fucking computer screen in your entire life, going back to like 1995, and all they got to do is go tick and find it. The problem that they've had, they started doing this to us in the mid 1990s, gathering every fucking thing that they could find about you and storing it. Why do you think they're building these giant data centers? It's not for AI. It's to track you. It's to keep everything. It's your permanent file. Remember, if you're Gen X, your mom and dad always told you don't be bad in school because that goes in your permanent file. Well, there's an actual permanent file now. And it has every fucking thing you have ever said or done. In fact, if you're a kid who grew up with computers, it's like my son is 16 years old. It's got every fucking thing he's ever done online. Every single fucking thing he has ever said or done. And they're going to pull that shit out. Remember, I also said, and we're doing a whole show on this in a couple of weeks. Every single one of you, every single you and you and you and you and you, and especially you, every single one of you are guilty of committing 3 felonies a day. Just because you don't know you've committed a felony today doesn't mean you didn't. How? And so what, you got to start connecting the dots here. They've been gathering every single fucking thing you've ever said or done since like 1992 and storing it in a fucking database. Every single thing you ever say or do. Donald Trump, today, he just fucking tweeted about how we have to renew the FISA laws. Even though the FISA was used against him, he just came out today and said we have to pass this law so we can still keep spying on you. What a backstabbing, traitorous piece of shit that motherfucker is. He's enabling them to keep spying on you. Why? Because they're going to Charlie Kirk his ass if he doesn't go along with it. That's why. And he was part of it. He was going along with it all along. He's just showing you who he really is now. He tricked you all into fucking voting for him, and now that he's in, he don't give a fuck. He's gonna be he's letting the real colors show now. He doesn't have to worry about another election. He might not even stop being president ever. I think he's gonna fall. I think he's gonna do a Putin. I think Donald Trump is president for the rest of our lives until he's gone. There's only one way Donald Trump's not going to be president anymore, and it's going to be the same reason Vladimir Putin's no longer president of Russia, because he's no longer alive, and that's the only way. There's my prediction of the night. He may not even make it to the end of his term, but if he does, he's not going home. He's not going home. He's not going back to Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is going to be the new White House. He'll just, show up in D.C. once in a while, but he's going to be running that shit from his White House. Shit, man. Oh my God, we are so fucked in this country. I'm trying to stay on target here. There's no way I'm going to get through my notes on. We're going to have part 3 of this topic. They will fire you just for typing something into your computer that you didn't even hit the enter key on. That they're reading everything. And so what I was getting at, they've been collecting all this information since like 1992 about every single one of you, me, and everybody else. Okay. The problem that they've had for all this time is how does anybody even sift through it? It's like trying to find a tiny little diamond on a beach full of sand. You're combing the beach looking for one tiny little diamond that's fell out of some girl's ring. A girl had a wedding ring with a cheapskate husband, and it wasn't even a carat or whatever, and it fell out of the ring. And well, it's somewhere along 20 miles of beach that we were at this weekend. It's trying to figure it, like you're looking for a diamond, a tiny diamond, not a rock, but like a pebble diamond on a 20-mile long beach full of sand. Good luck. But now with AI, they can go through the whole fucking beach, and within 3 seconds, boom, there's the diamond. They can find it. They can find that shit. They can analyze every single grain of sand on that fucking beach and find that diamond in half a second. Half of a second. You can go to these AI bots and they can scan the entire fucking internet and answer any question that you ask it in less than half a second. Sometimes it takes like 5 seconds to scan the whole fucking internet and answer whatever obscure question that you want to ask the robot. So now that they have every single thing that you've ever said or done in a file, in a database, going all the way back to 1992, and every single one of you, you and you and you and you and you've all committed 3 felonies every day of your life. How hard would it be for the AI bot to sift through all the grains of sand on your beach and find 3 felonies that you committed every single day, going all the way back to 1992? So how many days is that? Let's go to the date duration calculator here. We'll just say it was January 1st. Where is it? It's under tools. Here it is. We're going to go January 1st, 1992. And today's date is April 15th, 2026. Calculate the duration. That's 12,523 days. And we're going to take that and multiply it by 3. So if between January 1st, 1992 and today, if you were alive for that whole period of time, you've committed 37,569 felonies. Because you've all committed at least 3. And that's just at least 3 per day. Look this up. Go to Google, type in, did I commit 3 felonies a day? You find out, oh shit, I do. I'm a felon too. Oh, Adam's not the only one who fucked up. They just haven't taken you to prison for it yet. But when the police state comes knocking on the fucking door, someone's going to have an iPad in their hand and they're going to be like, oh, it looks like you 37,569 felonies. Look at this. Because the AI bot went through your whole fucking shit. Going all the way back to 1992. Every single thing you've ever said, done, everything you've ever done is in there. And there's 200,000 pages of fucking laws that we don't need. Like the fucking lawyers, the politicians, the judges. Nobody knows what's even in the fucking law anymore because there's so many fucking laws that nobody even knows what they are. The United States Code, just the United States Code is 80,000 pages. And if you were to put that, I calculated this, if you were to put that on sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, it's 80,000 pages. It would be a stack of paper 25 feet tall. A stack of paper 25 feet tall. And that's just the federal government, USC, United States Code, 25 foot tall stack of fucking papers. When the lawyers used to order it, they'd have to order it every year. It would be in like leather bound books, and it would take up a whole fucking wall of the law office, and it would be thousands and thousands of dollars. Now they just get it on a fucking computer. They just have a subscription to it. And so the AI, you don't think the AI bot can take the 80,000 pages of laws, just the federal government, forget about the state you live in, forget about the town that you live in, forget about the county that you live in, forget about all of Karen's bullshit from the homeowners association. There's probably 60,000 pages of that shit to go through for just your fucking cul-de-sac. We're talking about just the federal government. You don't think they can take the 35 fucking years of shit that they got about you in a database? Here's the 80,000 pages of laws. How many laws did this person break? Make a fucking list, show up at your house, and take you away. They could do that in like half a second now, because that's what they built it for. They didn't build this shit to like make humanity better and to like give us a future and to make our lives easier. No. Why do you think they're like, we were all told when we were young that we were going to get robots to do all of the shit jobs. We're going to get robots to go fucking pick all the cabbage out in the fucking field. We're going to get robots to do our dishes and do our chores. And we're going to get robots that, you know, make our beds. And we're going to get robots to do all this shit that we don't want to do. No, they made a bunch of robots to do all the art and the photography and the paintings and the videos and basically all the fun stuff, and all the programming jobs are gone, and they got rid of all the stuff that humanity wants to do and replace those jobs with robots so that we can just go do fucking chores all day. And the only fucking robot I ever get to do a goddamn chore was this shitty little fucking Roomba thing that bounces around my fucking house and doesn't clean anything. And I don't even have one of those, but if I did, it would be about as fucking useless as, like, that's the most useless piece of shit that we got to do our chores. This fucking little Roomba thing. It's like those vacuum things that you would roll around that don't even have a vacuum cleaner, and it's just a couple of brushes that spin and pull some dirt up into the thing, like that we had back in the 80s and that you still see them sweeping around restaurants with and stuff. That's what we got. That's the robot we got to do our fucking chores. But Amazon just fired 36,000 programmers to have robots write the fucking code. And the robots fucked things up so bad that they lost 1 million orders. They just vanished. 1 million orders disappeared. Ended up being about $100 million in lost revenue. And Amazon was like, well, fuck it. We'll have 2 robots write the code. Like, well, we don't have to bring the people back. We'll just put another robot on it so that they can work together. Just so that they can babysit each other and make sure they don't fuck up the code so bad. Like, that's all they did. They instead of like having people look at the code, this fucked up shit show of code, they're like, just have another robot look at it. We're good. Oh boy, I cannot fucking wait to see this country burn. The United States is going to burn to the ground like that fucking toilet paper factory did last week. I'm telling you, that is a metaphor of the United States right now. That is, the whole country is going to burn to the fucking ground. And I'm going to be sitting here drinking my cold brew coffee going, ha, can't fucking wait to watch this shit go down. I can't wait to see this fucking country done. I can't wait. But, you know, there, I'll just give human resources another reason not to hire me. I don't even know where to. We're almost at 3 hours, and I was watching these videos of these smug human resources cunts. I mean, that's what they are. These bitches that used to work in the they're always horrible. Like, there are certain careers. I said this when I started this this topic a couple weeks back, that there are certain careers that I cannot date. Like if I find like a cop, obviously I'm not gonna date a cop. And I've had two ex-girlfriends that were criminal justice majors in college, so I gave it a chance. Didn't work out. Imagine that. Like just the career alone is a deal breaker. Like usually if you're going to go out on a date with a girl, you usually know, not always. Depends on how you met. But if you go out on a date, most of the time you're going to know. But if let's just say I go out on a date and I don't know the career, like what she does for a living, and she comes out with like, "Oh, I'm a cop." Done. Where I might go to the bathroom and forget to come back. I don't even know. Like that's a ghost. That's Scooby-Doo didn't have to deal with a ghost as bad as the one I'm going to dish out in that situation. And there's other jobs. Human resources is one. A lot of women do human resources as their job title. They hire that a lot of those jobs are women. I would say just in my experience, if I had to like count the number of human resources, vice president of human resources, whatever, it's always some smug, bitchy ass woman. 9 times out of 10. If I just go back to my whole career, every single human resources, whoever's, not every time though. I just thought of a guy, human resources manager of a company I worked for. So that's, nothing is set in stone. Just like, we talked about last week how just because you're black doesn't mean you like fried chicken and watermelon. But I did happen to have tickets to go on the Whammo all you can eat chicken and ribs dinner cruise put on by the R&B rap music station on the radio in Pittsburgh. And call me the fucking racist. I'm not the one who organized the fucking boat party. And there were like 300 or more people on that boat. Me and my date were the only white people on the boat. If anything, that shows that I'm not racist. But you can't say anything like that this day and age. Somebody just got offended. Some woke fucking something or other just went crying to HR about what I just said. And then they're going to find out, oh, he doesn't have a job. We can't fight. We can't cancel him because he's a nobody. You can't cancel somebody who's not. Can't cancel somebody who has nothing to cancel. My 1,200 subscribers on YouTube will be gone. You'll know where to find me. Links.litgood.com. Go there. You'll find me. I'm just looking through my like what can we do for the it's always that the person in charge of HR is always this boss bitch. I won't date a boss bitch. Cause when we're hanging out after work, she's gonna be a bossy bitch. Imagine that. Like, I need one of those in my life. Yay. Oh my God. Guess it's about that time. We're 2 minutes and 57 minutes in. And my voice is disappearing. But yeah, I mean, whew. Let me look here. Yeah, I mean, it's just these companies, they're dehumanizing you. And it all began when they started calling you a human resource when you used to be a person. You used to be people. Now you're just a fucking human resource. You're just cattle in a barn. You're sheep waiting to go to the slaughterhouse. You're a bunch of cows waiting to get some tubes hooked up to your titties to make some fucking milk and go back out to the fucking shit covered pasture. Yay, that's all you are. And as soon as they don't need you anymore, they're kicking you to the curb. You put 30 years in for a company now. That's about the dumbest thing. I mean, It is. Every fucking week that goes by, I get handed another example about why working for a company for 30 years is one of the dumbest things you can do. I'm not gonna name names, but I know a woman whose husband is a software engineer, been working for the same company for 30 years. They just kicked him to the curb last week, or not last week, but a few weeks ago, and now they're in some shit. And we talked about it, and they believe in God, and you know, they don't. We haven't gone like, I would say if I was gonna tell somebody about the whole situation with the FBI driving a tank into my house and all that, going to prison for 2 years for a fucking tweet, I could trust this person with that story. There's a few others. There's certain places I don't talk about it, but I wouldn't like hide from it either. It's just, don't ask, don't tell kind of a situation. And that's fine with me. Um, Talk to me outside of the place and I'll open right up. I'm an open book. I'm on fucking YouTube. I told the whole world tonight. So it's not like I don't talk about it. I just, why bring problems into my life that I don't need today? So anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end it today, because I'm just looking through my notes and I'm like, my God, it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls about this topic with human resources. And we did get side railed for about an hour. But once again, it's the live stream. It's what happens. We don't know what's going to go down when we all join hands today and sit around the campfire sharing stories. I am trying to figure out, like, I want to start having people come on and like share their stories and not just be me talking to you all. I have the tools to do it. I got a Zoom account. Like, I could just send somebody a Zoom link. We could hook it in. We could get it going. It all connects the one way or another. Obviously, we didn't have any problems with the technology this week, I don't think. Yeah, I mean there's no, I see like maybe a split second delay in this video camera when I switch to it, but it's not like that 10-second delay that I had last week. Whatever. This is the camera I would rather use all the time than the FaceTime camera, but anyway, it's been 3 hours. I'm going to go make some I slow cooked roast beef all last night. And I'm going to make some roast beef and Munster cheese grilled sandwiches and go chill for the rest of the night, I guess. And then I've got a video to post. It's probably not going to go up until tomorrow, to be honest. I'm a little bit beat. And I might actually sit and write some code for another hour or two tonight. I don't even know. But thank you all for coming. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll see what happens next week. And but yeah, I'm glad the OGs are back in the house and everybody's getting along now, and we can all have some good times in the chat. Maybe, I mean, if any of you channel members want to be the moderator, I think it's easy for me to just make somebody, and then you would have the authority to do what needs to be done. But I mean, it's not like we have hundreds of people showing up, and it's not like that. It's not like the chat scrolls so fast that I can't even read what the hell's going on. Like if somebody popular gets on a live stream and it's pointless to even say anything in the chat because it's there, and then half a second later it's gone. But anyway, Blue Sky, I did get your message. I've got to respond to. I got a couple of messages to respond to today. I'll reach out tomorrow, so don't think I forgot. And like I got another message to read. I've got a bunch of them. Like tomorrow might have to be like, Adam, sit down and respond to all these people that you got to get in touch with day. And that might be a good thing to do tomorrow. So with that, I'm just going to say thanks for coming. We'll do this again next week. I'll put up a notification. I might do a members only live stream on Sunday since I didn't do one yesterday. And we'll just kind of go from there and see what's up. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good one. And I'm just going to say at this point, peace out. And we'll hang out again next week. Watch out. I'll be putting some videos up. You know, the 35-day rise and grind challenge. And we'll see where it all goes. Anyway, have a good one, everybody.